intensive here in Los Angeles. And so ensuring that neighbors have the tools to be prepared is really, really important. So if you sign up for our mailing list, you can make sure that you know when the next one is, and that's at councildistrict4.lacity.gov.
Bringing people together with a shared love of the city and a mission to make it better was the Tom LaBonge Way. At the Day of Service in his honor, LA Civil Rights Department, city officials, and community members joined with the LaBonge family to clean up and make the city a better place.
Today we are here at the Tom LaBonge Day of Service in Council District 10 with Councilmember Heather Hutt and a number of community members to celebrate the life, legacy, and community of former Councilman Tom LaBonge.
Every day is a great honor to represent this city and this district, so I just want to work hard for the people of Los Angeles.
This is what Tom was all about today. You know, he started with Mayor Bradley in 1974, and he worked for sanitation.
This was Tom's thing. Tom loved doing this every day. Beautification was a big deal for him, so it's in his heart. So we celebrate that always about Tom, always about that.
I think it's good. We're getting out in the city, and we're doing something as simple as picking up trash, clearing weeds, and just making the area around us even prettier.
Tom LaBonge was dirty hands in a literal way. He'd get in the ditch and he'd clean up the city.
Regardless of whether it was in his district or not, he was someone who cared about people, loved people, but wanted to make sure we had a beautiful Los Angeles.
He made me feel a love for my community that I felt ashamed that I didn't have. And that inspires you to want to give a little bit more. That's what brings us out here every year now that we have done the Tom LaBonge Day of Services.
He was always out, always on time, always delivering great services with a smile and love.
His commitment was very much to our city, to community, to diversity, to joy, to coming together and working together to make the city a better place.
He showed us the way that I believe all humans, and particularly citizens of Los Angeles, should carry themselves, and we're just here to carry that out, and it's a blessing to be in his orbit and around all these beautiful people from so many different departments.
He was that guy who made a difference in LA, loved LA, and brought people together to celebrate the beautiful diversity of our city.
Don't litter, come out for community cleanup, and help to make our city as shiny and bright as we all know it can be.
An in-person job fair at Los Angeles Trade Tech College was abuzz with meet and greets and on-the-spot job interviews. For those attending this Build Your Future event, the future is certainly looking bright.
We're here on campus at Los Angeles Trade Tech College. We're from Coalition for Responsible Community Development. And we're providing a job fair for our community. It's called Build Your Future. Our focus obviously is to bring higher end employers to our community and to focus in the South LA area.
We are recruiting for healthcare caregivers to provide services for our clients. We've gotten so many really good employees from the Trade Tech job fair, to be honest with you. Every time we come back, it's a great experience. Every person we've ever hired on, they're actually still with us. So it's kind of a good collaboration, right? We're able to get employees, but we can also employ them with great jobs.
We have great employers here. We have unions. We have different sectors that are here. So our focus is for the participants to come, introduce themselves, pretty much sell themselves, right? All the hard work that they've been doing up to this point, where they've attended resume workshops, they've attended interviewing skills workshop, mock interviews. That's going to prepare them to come and meet and build that relationship with the employer and hopefully get that employment opportunity. Our participants are those that come into our workforce center wanting to find training opportunities, employment opportunities to build that long-term career.
Don't be hesitant. You know, it takes one decision to kind of change the rest of your life.
You might get hired on the spot, so which is even better. So that's what I like about it.
Build building relationships, knowing the community and its concerns. It's all in a day's work for the Los Angeles Police Department. Newton Division LAPD hosted a coffee and conversation event at Inner City Arts to meet the community right where they are.
We have coffee with the police.
We have a monthly event where we have coffee with conversation all throughout different neighborhoods within Newton area, and we try to have as many community members come out, and we have our senior lead officers as well as police officers who are here to mingle with stakeholders and ask questions and answer questions.
They can get to know their senior lead officer, and more importantly sometimes for the senior lead to get to know them. What is their business? Where are they located? What are their concerns?
It's like having a private chat with the police department. You can always come and tell them your concerns about the problems on your community, and they will listen to you.
Without you, there's no us.
If you have a question about crime in your area, about how crimes are investigated, police response times, this is a very easy way to connect with the police officers that patrol your neighborhood and ask them those sorts of questions.
My favorite part about events like this is just coming out to the community, speaking with community members, finding out what some of their concerns that they may have, and also, building relationships. I love to give my business cards out, and so people know who they can contact, and they can put a name to a face with LAPD. We have our senior lead officers who come out, like I said, if there's any questions or concerns that community members, business owners have, we're here to answer those questions and try to let them know that the LAPD is here for them. It's a partnership.
LA Mayor Karen Bass announced that the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, LADWP, has been awarded $8 million in grant funding to help strengthen grid infrastructure. The grant from the U.S. Department of Energy's Grid Deployment Office will be used to maintain and enhance hydroelectricity production. LADWP will use the funding at 2 power plants in Los Angeles to ensure the reliable operation of 3 older turbine generators. $5 million of the grant will go to the Elderberry Dam Works at the Castaic Power Plant operated by LADWP. For more information on this funding, visit mayor.lacity.gov/press. LA City Attorney Heidi Feldstein Soto was honored with the Creo Award by the East Los Angeles Community Union, Telecu, at their annual 2024 Building the Dream Gala. Telecu provides services like affordable housing, scholarships, and leadership development programs to support and empower families and communities. Honoree Feldstein Soto was recognized for her legislative work on behalf of all Angelenos, especially the city's youth. Telecu is a nonprofit organization focused on community development, and this event benefited its education foundation. For more information on the City Attorney's Office, visit cityattorney.lacity.gov/news. LA City Council has approved a funding request by Councilmember Bob Blumenfield to expand the services of Safe Parking LA in the West San Fernando Valley. Through Safe Parking LA, the funding of $50,000 will support case management, outreach services, and general operations. Funds will also be used to provide financial assistance for driver's license fees, vehicle registration or renewal, auto repairs, and other expenses. Participants in the program will continue to receive homeless services and support to secure more permanent housing. Contracts with the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority and Safe Parking LA will be amended to provide the program's services until June 30th, 2025. For more information on the work of LA City Council, visit lacity.gov/government.
At various times, a drum beat has been a call to action or brought news of an event. In some cultures, the drum beat is considered to be the Earth's pulse. At the Day of the Drum Festival in Watts, there was much to learn and enjoy. Let's listen to the beat.
Today at the Watts Towers Arts Center campus, we have something very, very special for our community.
We're so excited to be here today to be celebrating the 42nd annual Watts Towers Day of the Drum Festival.
The Day of the Drum is all about drumming. All cultures have drums, so that's what we are today, traditional drumming on the stage.
The Day of the Drums is a way of honoring the different people in our communities, bringing people together to celebrate the different cultures, to celebrate the food, the arts, the drums.
Today at the Day of the Drum Festival, I saw when I played, it was a very warm and loving crowd. Everything that I was playing, I was seeing that the crowd was trying to understand it. This was an amazing experience, and I hope to be back next year.
Music is something that brings people together.
These truly are some of the very important cultural treasures that we have here in Los Angeles.
MTO Shahmaghsoudi is an international nonprofit whose members in Reseda make a difference in LA. Their strong spirit of volunteering and contributing to the community was honored with a square dedication in their name.
We're here at MTO Shahmaghsoudi School of Islamic Sufism in Reseda, and today we have a very exciting day because it's the unveiling of the new MTO Shahmaghsoudi Square, which council members Bob Blumenfield and Nitya Rahman have been a great help and a great asset to our community and our school.
It was my pleasure, and it was my colleague Bob Blumenfield's pleasure to introduce a motion in council to officially rename this area MTO Shahmaghsoudi Square.
To see a group like this that has anchored itself in this community through a spirit of volunteership has been really special, and everyone feels welcome here.
It's not just a new name for this corner, but what we do is we honor and celebrate a legacy, a vision, and a profound connection that MTO Shahmaghsoudi has nurtured within the heart of Los Angeles. So this is a really great, historic, and joyous occasion for us in our organization.
And it's also a very exciting day because it's the International Day of Peace.
So part of Sufism is the concept of community service and helping others. And on a personal level, I even want to help everyone in my community who's underserved and needs the help.
International Day of Peace, I think it's essential, especially in this world that we live in and with all the chaos going on, that it's essential to come back to ourselves and to our communities and just really caring for one another. And I think service is one of the greatest honors.
I look around, I see so many friendly faces, folks that I've known over the years. And I've been here many times into the beautiful sanctuary and on these really, I want to say hallowed grounds, because it really is beautiful here.
One of the things they do, which is great, they put together care packages. And they do it with a lot of care. I mean, they put together these bags that have personal supplies for the homeless or food.
We have a big donation that is going to Inside Safe, Mayor Karen Bass's initiative towards homelessness, and also to Shia's Hope Los Angeles.
Events are really important because it's a really great opportunity to bring everyone together to introduce what our school is, what we do, and get to know us on a personal level and us of them.
Well, we're really grateful for all the guests and attendees, all our nonprofit partners, all the collaborative efforts with the City of Los Angeles, with the council members, all of the organizations. And to be honest, it's a really great opportunity.
How do we keep children safe in the car? What are the rules around car seats? LA's Community Investment for Families Department hosted a safety workshop in East LA to help parents get to grips with car seat safety.
So today we're here at the Weingart East Los Angeles YMCA in our Community Development Center, where we offer a series of workshops. Today we're here for child passenger safety and to ensure that our families understand all the rules and safety required to make sure that their child are safe in their cars.
The most dangerous part in the vehicle is in the front. That
Airbag comes out at 350 miles an hour. And that pound of pressure, a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old is gonna crush their face. Keep your child in the back. In the back seat, it's safer.
We're going to have classes here to learn how to install the car seats. So we're grateful to have these classes to be able to learn all of those things and not make mistakes.
Everything's preventable as long as we educate ourselves and try to save a child's life.
In the city of Los Angeles, we'll educate through a press conference, and then we'll do workshops, and then we go out and we start doing trainings in the community on car seat safety, hands-on. So we explain to them what is the proper seat, how to install the seat, what is the law, and what will keep their child safe.
We traveled around in a big flatbed truck, so 6, 7, 8 kids, in the back. Nothing holding us down or holding us back in case of accidents. So we've come a long way. And yes, I am a new grandma of a 4-month-old baby, which is why I was staring at your baby there. So beautiful. As a new grandmother of a 4-month-old baby, I'm now going to pay much more attention to some of the things that I'd heard that I didn't know before. So I'm really excited about these resources at the Weingart YMCA.
So there are so many benefits into attending educational workshops. Just today alone, every single mom came up to me telling me that they learned something new, that they didn't know. And a lot of those mothers are mothers of multiple children. And so that just lets you know that education is key, and we just have to keep educating our community.
It began at South Park Recreation Center, but Pretty in Pink is now so successful that it takes the Los Angeles Swimming Stadium to hold all the girls. It's the 10th year of this Girls Empowerment Conference, and the program continues to go from strength to strength.
Today we're celebrating Pretty in Pink, a Girls Empowerment Conference.
So this idea for Pretty in Pink was created at South Park Recreation Center, and it started off during Valentine's Day, where we just wanted to give something to the girls and empower them. We noticed that they were struggling with a lot of things, such as hygiene and peer pressure. It started off really small, however, it's grown to be what it is now, and we're so happy to be celebrating the 10th anniversary of Pretty in Pink.
It's really fun. You get to hang out with your friends, learn new things.
We created a day where it's a day just for them, where we have different sessions. We have girl talks, we have a hygiene session, a yoga session, and just a day where we can empower them, educate them, and celebrate.
Like make new friends and have fun.
We're always trying to be creative and innovating. We're always coming up with new topics. So therefore, they're able to leave each year with something different, whether it's about anxiety, peer pressure, bullying. Each year they come to learn something different, and that's the importance of this program. I hope that each time that they leave, they take something back home with them. I hope that they meet new girls, they network, and realize that all our struggles, we all struggle with the same thing, and it doesn't matter where we're from or where we live. We can all come together and be one.
We have girls that are now city staff that started as Pretty in Pink members. So we're very grateful of the success of the program, and we're just thankful for the opportunity that we have to make an impact on the girls.
Empowerment in Pink. Well done to everyone who made Pretty in Pink such a great event. We were at the swearing in of the new LA City Council president. In our feature story this week, we caught up with Marquise Harris Dawson at this pivotal moment to find out more about his work and the priorities he brings to the leadership role at City Council.
afternoon. My name is Holly Walcott, and I'm the City Clerk for the City of Los Angeles, and it is my pleasure and honor today to swear in Marquise Harris Dawson as Council President. I, Marquise Harris Dawson, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
It's a very exciting day. It represents a transfer in authority on the LA City Council and an affirmation of our charge to make the city a more livable place for all Angelinos.
The Honorable Marquise Harris Dawson, an internal change agent, and to move from that point and not lose his integrity, his focus, and his commitment to be the voice of the people. It's important at a time like this for those of us who are still community change agents to stand in solidarity because our city will be the better for it.
Ethical, strong, visionary, principled leadership. That's what Marquise Harris Dawson has always demonstrated, and that's what he'll continue to demonstrate as the president of the City Council.
We're just excited about your leadership. You've got the training, background, and experience to do the job. We know you can and know that we are with you, and we're proud of you. Continued success. Keep up the good work.
I'm excited with your leadership because you're an organizer. And just looking at the crowd of the people who came to support you, it's a testament to how that's not all talk, it's real work.
The first half of his first term, he was already authoring Proposition HHH, the nation's largest investment towards ending homelessness. For most of us, something like that would have been a career achievement, and the entire city is continuing to benefit from that work.
What you can expect is a council that focuses on our most pressing issues, homelessness and housing, which are married to each other. We're going to press as hard as we can to accelerate the programs that we already have. We also want to work on making our streets safer. That means having a fully staffed police department, but it also means having alternative responses, like for mental health, for basic nuisances, for disputes, all those kinds of things that we can do in addition to what LAPD does for us.
Council President, thank you very much for being willing to take this task on. I have so much confidence in the future of our city under your leadership, and it gives me great pride to be able to pass the reins to you.
In this week's Things to Do, light up the night on historic Broadway, celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day, and take it to the streets for a ciclavia in the heart of LA. All this up next on Things to Do.
LA's Broadway lights up the night on October 12th with a spectacular array of entertainment. Back after 6 years, Broadway Night Lights is a community festival across 5 blocks of LA's historic Broadway. This Broadway night features a host of exclusive performances and tours of the Los Angeles Theater, the Palace Theater, and the $1 Million Theater. Enjoy musical performances by renowned artists and emerging local talents, as well as interactive installations and glow-in-the-dark activities. There'll be food vendors, a Ferris wheel, a classic car show, a lucha libre stage, and kids zones. Join in the fun at downtown's Broadway Night Lights on Saturday, October 12th, beginning at 3 p.m. and continuing until midnight. For more details, visit BroadwayNightLights.com. On Sunday, October 13th, join the Sunland Tujunga group ST Forward to acknowledge and celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day. This cultural and community-centered celebration is rooted in respect for the land. There'll be activities and workshops for all ages on site, along with resources and vendors. Enjoy live music and presentations, a tree planting, and nature plant walks. Traditional arts and crafts and traditional food will also be available. ST Forward was founded by local women to create space for action, anti-racism, and civic engagement with input from diverse community voices. Join the 2024 Sunland Tujunga Indigenous Peoples Day on Sunday, October 13th, beginning at 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. For more information, visit LA's Department of Cultural Affairs at culture.lacity.gov/events. Enjoy the streets of downtown LA and beyond without any car traffic on Sunday, October 13th. It's the 56th Los Angeles Open Streets event, Ciclavia, Heart of LA. This one is big and it's entirely people-powered. Presented by Metro, the event begins at 9 a.m. and connects Boyle Heights, Chinatown, Downtown, Echo Park, and Little Tokyo. Enjoy the city's many streetscapes at a personal pace. Use pedal power and cycle or walk your way around. You could also skateboard, rollerblade, or unicycle. Take part in this Open Streets Ciclavia Heart of LA, taking place on Sunday, October 13th from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. For more information, visit ciclavia.org. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's all for this week. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. Remember that you can watch us online anytime at lacityview.org, and we're also on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.
I am David Turshan from International Languages Department, and our department is comprised of all subject areas in 30 languages, as well as language learning materials such as phrase books and dictionaries in 500 languages. This is a book in Italian, Incognito in Hollywood, translated into 3 languages, English, French, and Italian. Incognito, it's the same in all languages. And the word, of course, is borrowed from Italian into English. And from Italian, it's borrowed from Latin, incognitus, which means not known. When we open the book, there is a stamp here that says Foreign Department, and once upon a time that was the name of our department, and later it was changed to International Languages Department because it's more inclusive, the term international, than the word foreign. It is written by Joe Malatesta and illustrated by Irma Fisk-Austin. The book is published in Los Angeles in 1935. And the book is relevant today because it presents multilingual impressions of the author. At that time, many of the places of Hollywood were different, and the book is illustrated to show those differences.
welcome to the meeting of your Los Angeles City Council. Today is Tuesday, the 8th day of October in the year 2024. My name is Marquise Harris Dawson. I serve as Council President. Public comment will be taken in person in the Council chamber and via teleconference for today's meeting. Let's begin by calling the roll.
Yes, sir. Blumenfield, De Leon, Harris Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Krikorian, Lee, McOsker, Padilla, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky, 10 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
All right, first order of business.
Approval the minutes of October 1st, 2024, sir.
All right, Councilmember Park moves. Councilmember Soto Martinez seconds. Next.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Councilmember Lee moves. Councilmember Hernandez seconds. Next.
Mr. President, today's Tuesday. It's time for the flag salute.
All right. Everybody in the chamber will rise for the flag salute, and we will follow Councilmember Tracy Park.
Please rise if you're able. Place your hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Madam Clerk, let's run through the agenda.
Yes, sir. Mr. President, there are several requests. There is a request to continue item 12 to December 6, 2024, to continue item 13 to December 10th, 2024, and continue item 14 to November 5th, 2024, as well as there is a request to hold 22 on the desk, sir.
All right, without objection, those will be the orders. What's next?
Items 1 through 16 are items noticed for public hearing. Items 17 through 23 are items which public hearings have been held. Items 24 through 46 are items which public hearings have not been held. Items 47 through 53 are closed session items considered by the Budget, Finance, Innovation Committee. 10 votes are required for consideration, sir.
All right, without objection, those items are now before us. Any specials, members? Any specials? Councilmember Rodriguez.
We have an amendment for item 44. City Attorney has it.
And the amendment reads that I move that item number 44 on today's agenda be amended to change the following language. So it's just one clause that's being changed and it appears to be technical. I therefore move that the intersection of Huntington Drive and Rosemead Avenue in the El Sereno community be named, and I quote, New Land, and it deletes family, and then continues Hardware Square. And that the Department of Transportation be directed to erect permanent ceremonial signs to this effect at this location. And is there a second to this motion?
Councilmember Park. All right. Is that the last one, Councilmember Rodriguez? That's your only one? Okay. Councilmember Hernandez, do you have a special? Okay.
Call item 37 special for a separate vote, please. And hold 22 on the desk, please.
Okay, without objection.
Thank you.
Councilmember Lee?
Call item 43 special for a substitute motion for a technical correction.
Okay.
Okay. So the motion reads, I'm just going to read through the moving clauses. So this is with regards to item number 43. I therefore move that $126,000 of the Council District 12 portion of the Street Furniture Revenue Fund, number 43D, Department 50, be transferred / appropriated to the Board of Public Works Fund, number 100-74, account number 3040, Contractual Services, for various street and neighborhood cleanup and maintenance services throughout Council District 12, coordinated by the Los Angeles Conservation Corps. I further move that the council resolve that, and I believe that's the new language, $63,000 in the Sunshine Canyon Communities Amenities Trust Fund, number 699-14, be transferred/appropriated to the Board of Public Works, Fund number 100-74, account number 3040, contractual services, for various street and neighborhood cleanup and maintenance services throughout Council District 12, coordinated by the Los Angeles Conservation Corps. I further move that the Board of Public Works, Office of Community Beautification, be authorized to prepare the necessary documents with and/or payments to the Los Angeles Conservation Corps and any other agency or organization in the above amount for the above purpose, subject to the approval of the city attorney as to form. And I further move that the Department of Public Works, Office of Accounting, be authorized to make any technical corrections or clarifications as necessary to the above instructions in order to effectuate the intent of the motion. And is there a second to this motion?
We need a second for Mr. Lee's motion. Councilmember Park. Councilmember McCosker.
I would like to hold item 40 for a closed session discussion. And on item 46, I have a substitute motion based on new evidence and information. I think the city attorney has the substitute motion with the applicable change language.
So with regards to item number 40, we can hold it, but I do not see closed session agenda language on there right now. So I believe it's to vote on the request to go into closed at a future date. But we can hold it if the council president would like and look into it. With regards to the substitute motion, I do have that and am able to read it at this time if you would like. So the motion reads, and I'm only going to read the moving clauses. I therefore move that the City Council request that the Office of the City Attorney and the Los Angeles Bureau of Sanitation, LASAN, in coordination with the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, LADWP, investigate the status of Atlas Iron and Metal Company's legal requirement to upgrade its stormwater treatment system. This should include specifically what improvements to the stormwater management system have been made and the status of compliance with federal water pollution rules. I further move that the City Council request the LASAN and LADWP coordinate with the Los Angeles School Unified District, LAUSD, and the Better Watts Initiative, BWI, to immediately develop any additional testing strategies for pollutants currently present on site at Atlas Iron and Metal Company that could be impacting Jordan High School. I further move that the City Council request the Office of the City Attorney report back on recorded citations of illegal disposal of hazardous materials and waste and the status of any penalties incurred by Atlas Iron and Metal Company in the last 5 years. I further move that the council request the Office of the City Attorney report back on the ability of the city to impose restrictions on operations on site at Atlas Iron and Metal Company as the city is investigating the facility. Additionally, the city attorney should provide measures the city can impose on the operator, including but not limited to abatement of the use, injunctive relief, criminal or civil fines and penalties, and community mitigations, such as a fund to provide assistance to environmentally sensitive areas in need, and to prepare remediation plans for projects that revitalize environmental justice communities in Watts. I further move that the City Council request the Office of the City Attorney engage the California Attorney General and the United States Environmental Protection Agency Administrator to share data related to sewer runoff and other samples collected from Atlas Iron and Metal Company. Additionally, the EPA should also pursue an investigation on the incidents associated with metal shrapnel coming from explosions on site and the impact they have on the surrounding environment. I further move that the City Council request the LA San citywide brownfields program work directly with Atlas Iron and Metal Company, community organizations, and city agencies to help assess, clean up, and revitalize any potential impacts that the site may have caused to 1, the neighboring lots, or 2, in the case that an agency requires the site in the future, the city can directly deploy brownfields program resources for the site. And is there a second to this motion?
Is there a second to Mr. Councilmember Padilla?
Mr. President, there is a request to also hold item 33 on the desk, sir.
Without objection. All right. Councilmember Hutt.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like for the city attorney to read the amendment into the record for item number 34.
So the motion that is being introduced by Councilmember Hutt reads, I move that item number 34 on today's agenda be amended to replace the recommendation as follows. And again, I believe this is another technical amendment with the language in bold. It says, direct the Department of General Services with the assistance of the city attorney and city administrative officer to negotiate license agreements with WLCAC for the city-owned multi-purpose center located at 2528 West Boulevard and the city-owned senior center located, and this is the bold language, 2475 West Washington Boulevard, end of the bold language, with said license agreements should be at no cost to the WLCAC and should run concurrently with the Los Angeles Department of Aging Service contracts for both of these locations. Is there a second to this motion?
Mr. Blumenfield. Thank you.
Mr. Blumenfield. All right. Councilmember Hernandez, I see your name again.
Yes, Council President. I have the language for item number 22, the amended language, if the city attorney can read into the record, please.
Yes. The motion reads that I move that agenda item number 22 on today's council agenda be amended to include an additional recommendation. Okay, and the additional recommendation appears to be a report back. So instruction number 4, instruct LADOT to report within 30 days with a spending plan for the projected revenue from the bus lane enforcement pilot program, including creating a criteria matrix that prioritizes the following transportation-related services and programs. A, traffic officers. B, paint and sign maintenance crews. C, speed hump programs. And D, funding for safe street infrastructure at the top 50 locations where street takeovers occur, as well as pedestrian safety treatments. And is there a second to this motion?
Councilmember Padilla. Councilmember Rahman. Okay. All right, and Council District 8 has a special item number 42 with amendments.
Yes, and again, this appears to be a technical amendment. So the amendment reads that I move that item number 42 on today's agenda be amended to replace recommendation 1 as follows. Transfer and appropriate $106,000.
This is your first and last warning. Any further outbursts, you'll be asked to leave immediately. Thank you.
And I believe that was Camille Lewis. So let me start over. It says replace recommendation 1 as follows. Transfer and appropriate $106,500 from the General City Purpose Fund, number 100/56, account number, and I believe this is the new language, 000622, end of the new language, Additional Homeless Services, CD8, to the Los Angeles Housing Department, fund number 100/43, account number to be determined, for enhanced support services, which includes client metal services and an increase to staff salaries at the CD8 Navigation Center. And I believe this is being seconded by Councilmember Hutt.
All right. Any other specials members, just to go once around to make sure everybody's got theirs in?
Apologies.
right.
I'm being told that the previous motion is being seconded by Council Member Hernandez.
All right. Any other specials members? All right. Seeing none, what items are available for us to cast votes on at this time?
Mr. President, council may now vote on items 17 through 21, as well as 23, sir.
All right. Those items are now before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
All right. What's next?
Mr. President, council may vote on closed session items. Those are items 47 through 53, which were considered by the Budget, Finance, and Innovation Committee, sir.
All right. I'll call on our budget chair, Mr. Blumenfield, to.
Thank you. I don't think we need to go into closed session today on these, as we heard all of these items in Budget Committee. However, I do want to make note that what is in closed session are more settlements, and why this is important. Letting folks know we've exhausted the $100 million that was set aside in the approved budget for liabilities. We've used an additional $60 million from our mid-year adjustments and $23 million from our reserve funds. So at this point, we've also taken $76 million less than in anticipated revenues. What that means is our reserve fund is below 5.07% that we started the fiscal year with. It's at 3.83% and will drop under 3%, which is dangerously low. Our reserve funds should be at 10%, but at the very least at 5%. So what do we do besides not settling cases, which really just buys us time? And I bring this up because these cases are taking us, over these limits. We need to keep priority critical hiring in place. And even though I know a lot of us were ready to lift that until these numbers came in, and unfortunately that means we've had to turn down department requests to hire in the budget. And to keep in mind that if we go a little bit lower, if we have a few more cases or settled that takes us down to 2.75%, then it's going to require a 2/3 vote of this body anytime we want to take money out of the reserve fund. So this is bad news, and I'm putting it out there in the context of we're approving all these settlements. But you need to know the situation is dire, and you need to have that lens as we move forward with all the different requests that are coming forward. And we're going to have a much more thorough discussion about this in Budget Committee tomorrow. But I thought, especially since we're approving additional cases here, that I would make that clear. So,
thank you, Mr. Blumenfield. So just so I'm clear, you're saying we're this far over, significantly over on settlements, and we're not even 6 months into the year?
Yes.
Got it. Thank you. All right. Those items from Budget Committee are now before us. And someone turned on. Is the reverb off? Good. Okay. Those items are now before us. Let's open the roll.
Mr. President, if I may read the settlement amount, sir? Okay, for item number 47, in the case entitled Raymond Levi versus City of Los Angeles, there's a recommendation to expend up to $82,500 in settlement. Item 48, in the case entitled Rosa Becerra versus Yesenia Emestica et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $150,000 in settlement. For item 49, in a case entitled Niku Mirzas versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $800,000 in settlement. For item 50, in the case entitled Samuel Stringer versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $975,000 in settlement. For item 51, in the case entitled Maribel Murillo versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $450,000 in settlement. For item 52, in the case entitled Eric Vidro versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $300,000 in settlement. And finally, for item 53, in the case entitled Bianca Alvarado versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $300,000 in settlement. Thank you, sir.
All right, those items are now before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
All right, before we go to public comment, I want to call on Mr. Lee for a special announcement and welcome.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, everyone. Last year, the city of Los Angeles designated October 9th as Hangul Day, and this year marks our second official celebration of this special occasion. Hangul is the Korean alphabet that was created in 1443 by King Sejong the Great during the Joseon dynasty. It was designed to promote literacy among all Korean people due to its simplicity and scientific structure. But most importantly, it gave us our own identity as a people and helped us unite our country. Los Angeles is home to one of the most diverse populations in the United States and has the largest Korean community in the country. Over the past few decades, the Korean American community has grown tremendously and played a significant role in the fabric of American society. And in order to stay connected to our roots, Korean Americans hold Korean language and culture in high regard. It is a true honor to celebrate Hangul Day here every year in Los Angeles. Today, we are honored to have Monica Rue, President, and Deborah Lee, Executive Director of the Foundation for Korean Language and Culture, with us. And together with the Korean Education Center, they have been instrumental in establishing and maintaining Korean language classes in public schools. Currently, more than 200 schools across the United States offer Korean language courses with approximately 9,000 students learning Korean in 80 schools here in Los Angeles. Thank you all, and thank you for joining us to celebrate this important day to our community.
Thank you so much and welcome. Thank you for sharing this day with us. All right, now I'll ask that we move on to public comment. You can make public comment on agenda items noticed for the public hearing and items for which public hearings have not been held. Please note today's meeting includes a call-in option for public comment. Public comment will be taken both in person in the council chamber and also via teleconference. Madam Clerk, would you please read out the call-in information that was also provided on the agenda? Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, we have another special.
And this is a substitute motion on item number 3, and I believe it's being introduced by the council president. So I'll just read the motion in its entirety. It says, I move that pursuant to Charter Section 242B, that the council resolve to adopt the following changes to the council committee structure and jurisdictions. The changes affect the current Civil Rights, Equity, Immigration, Aging, and Disability Committee, establish a new Economic, Community Development, and Jobs Committee, and amend the current jurisdiction of the Trade, Travel, and Tourism Committee. 1. Civil Rights, Equity, Immigration, Aging, and Disability. Oversight of the Civil, Human Rights, and Equity Department, Human Relations Commission, Commission on the Status of Women, Transgender Advisory Council, Reparations Advisory Commission, Department of Aging, Department on Disability, Commission on Disability, Office of Community Wealth, Community Investment, and Families Department, Commission for Community and Family Services, Policies and Issues Involving the Consolidated Plan and Capital Improvement Projects, Family Source Centers, Human Trafficking and Domestic Violence, Immigrant Affairs and Immigration, Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs, Immigrant Advocate, Office of Immigrant Inclusion and Language Access, Reduction of Poverty, Day Laborer Programs, the Needs of the Disabled and Senior Citizens, Human Rights, Multiculturalism, EMB Race LA, Race and Ethnic Relations, Diversity, Social Justice, Restorative Justice, LGBTQIA+ policy, Comparable Worth and Pay Equity, Social Equity, Discriminatory Practices, and Equal Employment Opportunities. 2. Economic, Community Development, and Jobs. Oversight of Economic and Workforce Development Department, Workforce Development Board, the WDB, Small Business Commission, Bureau of Contract Administration, Wage Enforcement Division, Industrial Development Authority, Minority Business Opportunity Committee, the MBOC, Los Angeles City Tourism Department, Board of City Tourism Commissioners, Mayor's Office of Economic Development, Mayor's Office of Reentry, State of California Employee Development Department, Film LA, Minor Business Enterprises, MBE, Women Business Enterprises, WBE, Small Business Enterprises, SBE, Workforce Development, Business Improvement Districts, Business Associations, Industrial and Commercial Development, Economic Development, Reduction of Poverty, Street Vending, Infrastructure Financing Districts, Jobs and Economic Development Incentive, JEDI zones, Enterprise zones / renewal communities, promise zones, minimum wage, living wage, and any related matters, all matters directly related to wages, hours, and working conditions of non-city employees, all matters pertaining to conventions, all matters pertaining to the film, television, and gaming industries, including their job creation and retention policies, all matters related to jobs and their creation. And 3, trade, travel, and tourism, oversight of Airport Department, Harbor Department, Alameda Corridor Transportation Authority, the ACTA, matters involving free trade zones, marketing and branding of Los Angeles, all matters pertaining to the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission and Experience LA, all matters related to tourism, including tourism-related actions of the Los Angeles City Tourism Department, and the Board of City Tourism Commissioners and Freight Railroads. And was there a second to this motion?
We need a second, Mr. Price.
I was.
Thank you. Councilmember Rodriguez has an announcement.
Thank you. Colleagues, I want to quickly give acknowledgement to some special guests that we have joining us today in council chambers from my great alma mater, Occidental College. Would you all please rise? We've got them 15 students from Professor Freer's LA Politics class joining us today, and for the Oxy alum that are here, and I know Karen Kalfayan, we've had a few folks, Oxy alums that have joined them this morning to talk about our work here at City Hall, and they've joined us to observe general public comment today, and just wanted to welcome them into your LA City Hall. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much and welcome. All right, and we will proceed to public comment at this time.
Yes, Mr. President. As indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing to offer public comment should call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and then press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted to the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak. When it's your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press star 6 to unmute. Again, call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466, then press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted to the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak. When it's your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press star 6 to unmute.
To people providing public comment, when it is your turn to speak, either at the podium or on the phone, please state which of the agenda items you'd like to speak to. You will have 1 minute per item, up to 3 minutes total for the items open for public comment. We will tell you when your time is up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you are not on topic, or if we cannot tell whether you are on topic, you will get one brief warning from me or the council president. At that point, you need to get immediately and clearly on topic. If you do not do so, or if you again stray off topic, you will forfeit the rest of your speaking time and we will move on to the next speaker. The items that are open for public comment are items 1 through 16 and items 24 through 46. Again, the items that are open for public comment are items 1 through 16 and items 24 through 46. Members of the public may also speak for up to 1 minute for general public comment. During general public comment, members of the public may speak to any of the items or anything else in the city's subject matter jurisdiction. For members of the public calling in, when it is your turn to speak, an automated message from Zoom will prompt you to press *6 to unmute yourself. If you do not do so, council staff will prompt you once more. At that point, you need to immediately unmute yourself, or unfortunately, you will forfeit your speaking time and we will have to move on to the next speaker. Because of a brief time delay between the live meeting and the broadcast, two things are important. First, while waiting for your turn to speak, please keep an ear to the phone so you know in real time when it is your turn to press *6 to unmute. Second, if you're listening to this meeting on another device, please turn down the volume on that device immediately when it's your turn to speak. Between the time delay and feedback, it will cause a great deal of confusion if you continue to listen on your other devices. One final announcement, if I could ask the interpreter to get on the mic and read it aloud, or interpret aloud. So for anyone who requires a Spanish language interpreter, please make sure that you pause every once in a while to give our interpreters time to do their jobs. We will pause your time, so you will not be, you will still get the same amount of time as everybody else. Go ahead.
Para aquellas personas hablando en español aquí, por favor recuerden de pausar y hablar en frases cortas para darle al intérprete un momento para traducir. No va a perder su tiempo en hacerlo, el tiempo va a pausar. Muchas gracias.
I will begin by calling up names: Antonio Ramirez, Bradenberg, Susan Price, April Stewart, Chad Medner, Gregory Plummer, Nick Cruz, Stuart Waldman, Oscar Antonio, Adam. Please line up to your left-hand side.
Thank you, President Nuri
Good morning.
Martinez.
So
I
you
would
have
like
3
to
minutes for
speak
the
on-
items and 1 minute for general public comment.
That's
Please
fast.
begin with
Thank
the
you.
items.
Very fast. Number one，还记得年少时的梦吗？像朵永远不凋零的花，陪我经过那风吹雨打，看世事无常，看沧桑变化。那些为爱所付出的代价，是永远都难忘的啊！所有真心的、痴心的话，永在我心中，虽然已没有他。也许我偶尔还是会想他，偶尔难免会惦记着他，就当他是个老朋友啊，也让我心疼，也让我牵挂，只是我心中不再有火花。Number two。多少回我来到你的窗外，也曾想敲敲门叫你出来，想一想你的美丽，我的平凡，一次次默默走开。再见了，心爱的梦中女孩，我将要去远方寻找未来。假如我有一天荣归故里，再到你窗外诉说情怀。再见了，心爱的梦中女孩，对着你的影子说声珍重。假如我永远不再回来，就让月亮守在你窗外。Number three。再唱不出那样的歌曲，听到都会红着脸躲避。虽然会经常忘了，我依然爱着你。因为爱情不会轻易悲伤。 所以我们还是幸福的模样。因为爱情简单的生长，依然随时可以为你疯狂。因为爱情怎么会有沧桑？所以我们还是年轻的模样。因为爱情在那个地方。General public comment. I wish in the city of Los Angeles, I'm allowed to have a dream. I wish I can have a dream in the City Hall Council meeting without being interrupted. I have a dream that every single Israeli can be safe in the city of Los Angeles, in the city council. I have a dream where every single Israeli can go to work safely, can go to their church safely, can go to their school safely without being harassed, without being attacked. I have a dream in the city of Los Angeles where every single Israeli will not get bullied, will not get attacked, will not get insulted, assaulted, verbally, physically, at any point, at anywhere in the city of Los Angeles. I have a dream in the city of Los Angeles that I can voice my support for Kevin De Leon, I can voice my support for President Trump without worry about getting shot, without worry about getting attacked. I have a dream in the city of Los Angeles that I am allowed to voice my support for Israel without getting disrupted by the council president or the city attorney. I support Israel.
Morning.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
I'm here for general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute, and before you begin, if you could pull the microphone down a little bit. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm here for general public comment. Airport and hotel workers have been coming to city council for over 540 days with simple message: wage delay or wage deny. This council independent study confirmed what workers have been saying since day one: increase wage and health care benefits. Increase wage and health care benefits is good for our economy, and it's the right thing to do. I urge you to form the community and economic development community today, so there are no more delays. Thank you.
Before the next speaker begins, I will call more names. Danu Patel, Douglas Marble, Estrella S., Eva Rodriguez, Frederick Silic, Greg Plummer, Hitu Patel.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
My name is Susan Price, and I'm from LA Can. I'm speaking on public comment and 1 and 2.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Hold on, just 1 minute.
World migration is affecting LA. It's a national crisis of houselessness. LA must have a federal response to this crisis. California is a sanctuary state. Other states are busing migrants to this area. I saw a bus unload in Skid Row just yesterday on Maple and 7th. Federal public housing in millions of square feet of vacant commercial real estate in LA is necessary now. We have to think about outside of the box. We got to think about all that vacant space that's not being used, that we have to put people in that space. Also, the sweeps are happening daily in Skid Row. People's property is regularly destroyed and thrown away. LASA is nowhere to be found. Council District 14 staff is nowhere to be found. It's very clear the priority when it comes to Council District 14 with LAPD, Central Division officers, and sanitation. at Kevin De Leon's beck and call.
So,
Target a predominantly
you
black and
mentioned-
houseless population.
Speaker, you
Look.
mentioned items 1 and 2, and that doesn't. None of this appears to be about items number 1 and 2. So you've used your 1 minute for general public comment. But if you'd like to speak to items 1 and 2, please do so now.
I just want you to know we need everything you can do to help the houseless population. Thank you for hearing me today.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Excuse me?
Which items would you like to speak to?
6, 33, and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the items.
Oh, sorry, 8. 8:33 and general public comment.
Okay.
I'm sure that matters
so
to
2
you.
minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead with the items
All right.
first.
Yeah, I just saw that number 8 is about proposed improvement and maintenance of the 6th Street and Gladys Avenue street lighting district. And I think it's important when we talk about infrastructure in Skid Row and specifically at that intersection. About 2 weeks ago, I put in a My 311 request for a sinkhole that's developing right at that intersection. They've closed the request and nothing's happened except they came out last week and spray painted around it. Meanwhile, it's causing a danger to our neighborhood and also infrastructure at that intersection. July 2023, LA Can requested a crosswalk across from our office that connects to Parlos Niños preschool, where families are crossing every day. That's been 15 months now, and there's still no crosswalk. There's still no response from the city.
So, Speaker, this is about street lighting, not the
Oh, my
crosswalk.
bad. Okay, then I'll go to number 33. Number 33 is relative to changes to the council committee structure and jurisdictions. And I think it's worth bringing up that Kevin De Leon was placed on the Planning Land Use Management Committee, that Kevin De Leon is still on the Housing and Homelessness Committee. And everyone on this council had a lot to say about Kevin De Leon 2 years ago, including our new president, Councilmember Harris Dawson. And I just find it really interesting that Kevin De Leon's being put on the Plum Committee and is still on the Housing and Homelessness Committee. Number 1 in this agenda item talks about civil rights, equity, immigration, aging, and disability, and what's under that? Reduction of poverty, human rights, race and ethnic relations. 2 weeks ago, here, Kevin De Leon was invited to speak at a private event with the Civil Rights Commission, and it's just laughable.
General public comment?
Gotcha. I see our new president left the room, but now that he's president, I think it's incumbent on this council to start opening, phone or Zoom public comment to committees. We know that you're able to do it for this meeting, and it's absolutely, it's pretty shameful that it's not done across committees. I know that Nuri Martinez had a certain orientation around it. Paul Krikorian certainly had an orientation around it. But there's a new president here, and I think that people being able to call in and give public comment at public meetings should be a priority for a council that pretends, I think, that they represent the public. And while we need expanded access and our ability to give public comment, it's also important that council members listen to what's being said. Listening to the public is part of your job. At least that's what you say on the campaign trail. But too often during public comment, like right now, council members choose to leave the room, check their phones, talk to their colleagues and staff, or like Kevin De Leon,
So,
listen
Speaker,
to...
your time has expired. Next speaker. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Good morning. My name is Gregory Plummer, and I'm speaking on item number 33 in public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
Thank you. Good morning, distinguished council members, Mr. President. My name is Greg Plummer. I am a CEO and owner of an airport contract company. We proudly employ over 350 Angelinos, and we are going to be impacted by the restructuring of the committees that oversee the airport. While we are absolutely supportive of living wage And today, our company pays substantially above the living wage when you factor in gratuities because we operate restaurants at the airport. We are certainly not here to oppose changes to living wage. We do ask that we are considered in the equation. As operators of restaurants, we already operate on razor-thin margins. So as you can imagine, when the ideal of a 15% increase to your largest expense, that's daunting and somewhat scary for a local minority-owned business who often challenges with access to capital, more expensive capital than what you would look at when you compare it to large global primes.
General public comment.
And so today I ask that you strongly consider our position. You know, we have worked really hard, myself 20 plus years, to be in this position, to be an owner and operator in ACDB at the airport. And while we certainly care about the conditions of our employees, it is incumbent upon you all to really consider the impacts these living wage motions would have on our companies. Thank you so much for the time, and please consider our companies.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Nicholas Cruz, general public comment, and item number 33.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
Good morning, council members. My name is Nicholas Cruz. I'm an airport concessions operator. I've been in the business for 15 years, and I'm a second-generation operator. I'm concerned about the new constitution of the Economic Development Committee as far as what's going to come under its purview with regard to the living wage. So my father started this business in 1972. And he started with 2 employees. They worked tirelessly to give us an opportunity to be in this business. We currently employ over 400 team members at LAX, 92% of those being minority. When I say I operate at the airport, I always hear people say, oh, wow, things must be great. Well, I choose for it to be great because I have a positive outlook. But the reality is of operating in an airport, our margins are very thin, often only 3% profit margins, and that's before paying our debt and interest. And we invest a lot of money, personally guaranteeing it, to make an LA exceptional experience. I couldn't do my business without my team members. I currently pay over a living wage and hourly wages, pension, and benefits. But the current motion as proposed does not take into account the nuances of airport operators and a lot of these hoteliers that are standing here before you. Traffic is not returned at LAX. We're not back to pre-pandemic levels. Sales are down, costs are up, inflation costs are up, and interest rates are up. We are barely making by. We are often deferring our interest payments in debt. I implore this new Economic Development Committee to take into account all the parties that will be affected by this. That's the labor community and the business community, especially the small and women minority-owned businesses that this motion will affect and could have unintended consequences, lowering TOT or unfortunately putting a lot of small businesses out of business. Thank you for your consideration.
Good morning. My name is April Stewart. I'm here to speak on general comment and also item 33.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
Thank you. Greetings, council members. I will read. My name is April Stewart. I am a first-generation entrepreneur and founder of Skyview Concessions. I own and operate stores and restaurants at LAX. I have been in business for an incredible 17 years. The last 2 years, I have been living out a dream and fully owning and operating my own store, 100% owned and operated by me. Because you see, prior to partnering with the large companies, the large prime companies, I worked as a store manager at LAX, intrigued by learning that local and small business owners that looked like me owned stores and shops and bars at the airport inspired me. I decided to sacrifice weekends and nights to return to school and to obtain my MBA and also the ACDBE certification. As a small business owner, I love meeting payroll. I love hiring and giving career opportunities to some that might not otherwise be hired by companies. I love demonstrating that, yes, a woman, minority, local small business can successfully operate at LAX. I love showing that, yes, a manager can rise to an award-winning entrepreneurship. As I look at the landscape at the airport, I see that there are many opportunities that are forthcoming. However, the wage motion is the way it is written currently makes it impossible for me to even consider competing for these opportunities and to continue as an independent owner. It was challenging before, and now, with the current motion, it is almost unthinkable to even consider hanging my own shingle at the airport again. This is counter to the goals of the mayor and the airport leadership. We want to keep small and local businesses at the airport, but as the motion is written, I do not see a path forward to continue to operate as an independent local and small business owner. Lastly, I understand there is a motion proposal to reconstitute the Economic Development Committee. We welcome this and desire to have our voices heard as local and small business owners. We can all agree we want to offer meaningful wages to our team, but the climb to $30 is too steep and unsustainable. Small and local businesses want a seat at the table to help create a living wage that works for us all. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Chad Minner. I'm here to speak on general comments on item 33.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Good morning, Council President Harris Dawson and council members. My name is Chad Mender, and I serve as the President CEO of the LAX Coastal Chamber of Commerce, representing close to 700 businesses in the LAX and surrounding communities. 550 of those businesses represent our small, local, minority, and women-owned businesses. As a newly Economic Development Committee is put into place, I'm hopeful that an important primary function of this group will be to encourage and empower small businesses to succeed, particularly those that are certified as women-owned and minority-owned. They are critical members of and partners for our local community, partners with our hotels and our airport. As the City Council considers an increase on the living wage, it's important that our small and diverse businesses, many of these people here in the room, their voices are heard. A living wage increase could devastatingly impact their business they work so hard to build. Small and diverse businesses celebrates everything that's great in our city.
General?
So I urge you to consider this very wisely and take in the data that's important in making this important decision. Thank you so much.
Before the next speaker begins, I will call more names. Jessica Maldonado, Lizeth Aguilar, Teresa Yahakwa, Andrew Grabner, Simon Stewart, Ray Patel, Nareesh Bhakta, Daksa Patel, Coney Lingus.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Stuart Waldman, items 33 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
Thank you. Stuart Waldman, I'm president of the Valley Industry and Commerce Association, VICA, with business group representing the San Fernando Valley. We have a simple task, and that is to bring jobs to the Valley, bring jobs to the city, keep jobs here. We are excited that the Economic Community Development and Jobs Committee is being reconstituted, and we are looking forward to a new, fruitful relationship with that committee where we work together on agenda items, where we find out that items are going to be on the agenda before 4:30 on a Friday evening, where we are part of the discussion to try and bring jobs and keep jobs to this city. It is important that business and labor and the City Council work together on these issues because it is hard to bring businesses to Los Angeles in its current function. In terms of,
General public comment.
Thank you. In terms of the conversation about the hospitality minimum wage, which is coming up, we are deeply concerned that the Bear report was flawed. It did not include a lot of people or a lot of conversations, a lot of voices. And anytime you as a city council look at a report that tells you that no jobs will be lost when costs go up, you know that that report is trash. You cannot base a decision honestly on a report like that. We ask that the report be reopened and more people talk to, that they look at the TOT, that they look at the effect on the city budget. We ask that all of you take into consideration that when you raise wages, as you know, that you've just done, it impacts budgets and it will impact the city budget. We want to work together to come up with a solution that helps everybody. Thank you.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Good morning. My name is Simeon Stewart. I'd like to speak to general comments and item number 33, please.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
Thank you. Good morning, President Harris Dawson and esteemed council members. My name is Simeon Stewart. I'm the CEO of Palazzo Concessions, a small business currently doing concessions at LAX. Quick background on me. I was born in East LA, raised in South Central LA, attended LA Unified Schools and the University of Southern California. I'm a native Angelino. As an entrepreneur, I'm proud of my long-standing relationship with LAX. First, as a construction subcontractor, helping to build our current control tower many years ago. Secondly, in the concession space, starting my career as chief operating officer of a small concessions firm, which led to opportunities to own concessions at LAX. I'm here to provide comments on the impending Economic Development Committee. My specific concern is the living wage ordinance. I started my concessions work at LAX in the aftermath of 9/11. In spite of that and other monumental challenges we've experienced, including a global pandemic from which our industry is still recovering, I'm proud to be a part of an ecosystem that has created exponential and transformational growth. It is that concessions ecosystem I'm concerned about. Implementation of increased wage ordinances without consideration of key stakeholders, specifically concessionaires, many of whom are small businesses, will put our businesses in dire straits immediately. My specific ask is that council consider taking a holistic approach to solving all challenges key stakeholders have at LAX. My colleagues and I welcome collaborative discussions that we believe will lead to solutions that will benefit everyone responsible for the world-class concessions program we continue to grow at LAX. Thank you very much for your consideration. Have a great day.
That was good. With 15 seconds to spare. That's nice. Okay.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Good morning. My name, for the staff and council member, my name is Estella, like Corella, DeVille, like Cinderella. Please, because I'm brown,
Which
don't
items
use
would you like to speak
Estella.
to?
Oh, yeah, I'd like to speak on general public comment, please.
So you have 1 minute. Go ahead. Can you start our time over?
Thank you. Yeah, I got to tell you how to say my name. Now, I came to the city council meeting in Los Angeles via bus. There was a bus accident on my way here, so I got here right at 10 a.m. via train. I made it here, guys. Now, when I got to the council hall, there were people waiting out like it was the Apple store. I said, wow, it looks like the Apple store. The cops didn't want to let me in because it's capacity. That is a violation of the Brown Act and the US Constitution. You can have cops waiting outside the door here to the chambers, watching to see how many people are coming in, how much is capacity. You cannot limit the access to the city hall. They told me I couldn't speak today and sign up on the speaker queue because of this little shenanigan you have inviting your interest groups in. This is exactly what I've been talking about, social engineering the people's public hearings to violate the US Constitution. Please stop. You have been ordered to stop by the people. Thank you for my time. God bless you. God bless America.
Buenos días, voy a hablar en español.
Okay, and which items would you like to speak to?
¿De qué puntos quiere hablar el día de hoy?
Sorry, can we have the interpreter?
¿De qué puntos quiere hablar el día de hoy?
Sí, quiero hacer un comentario público sobre la ordenanza de protección de trabajadores de comida rápida.
I would like to make a public commentary on the ordinance.
Mi nombre es Eva Rodríguez
My
y
name is Eva
trabajo
Rodríguez.
en Subway
and I work at
alrededor
Subway
de 11 años y medio, en los cuales he sido víctima de todo tipo de robo y
for
abuso
11
laboral.
years and a half, and in that period I've been victim of all types of labor abuse.
Lugares de comida rápida como Subway quieren administrar las tiendas a su manera, explotando a la gente.
Fast food restaurants like Subway want to exploit the people to their own way.
Ahorita mismo estoy en una huelga reclamando mis derechos.
Right now I'm on a strike claiming my rights.
Estoy luchando por mis derechos y también por los de mis compañeros y de otros restaurantes de comida rápida que están pasando lo mismo que yo.
I am fighting for my rights and for my colleagues that are under the same situation that I am.
Las corporaciones y los propietarios de franquicias de marcas como Subway son corruptos y no quieren que conozcamos nuestros derechos.
Owners of corporations and franchises like Subway are corrupt and they do not want us to know our rights.
Por eso estoy aquí
And that's why I'm here,
pidiéndole a todos los líderes presentes de Los Ángeles que apoyen la ley de trabajo que protege a todos los empleados para que tengamos conocimiento de nuestros derechos desde el primer momento que entramos a laborar.
and I'm here to ask all the leaders of LA to support this work law for all the workers that right now
Apoyen
in
la
our
ley,
job.
por favor.
Please
Gracias.
support the law. Thank you.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Lisset Aguilar y estoy aquí para hablar sobre la ordenanza de los trabajadores de la comida rápida.
Hello, yes, I'm Lisetta Aguilar. I'm here to speak about the ordinance for fast food workers.
Hoy estoy aquí para pedirles que apoyen la ordenanza para todos los más de 50,000 trabajadores que trabajamos en la comida rápida.
I am here to ask for you guys to support the ordinance that supports 50,000 fast food workers.
Por muchos años no conocía yo mis derechos.
And for many years, I did not know my rights.
No fue hasta que me uní
And it wasn't until I became part of a union
con los trabajadores en apoyo,
with the workers in support,
ya que yo pasé por muchas injusticias en mi trabajo.
after facing several injustices in my work.
Es por eso que hoy estoy aquí apoyando
And that is why I am here to support
a mi compañera Eva y a muchos compañeros del Subway que están hoy en día en huelga.
To my coworker Eba and many of my other coworkers here in Subway that are now on strike.
Más del 88,000 trabajadores no conocen sus derechos.
And more than 88,000 workers do not know their rights.
Por eso es importante
And that is why it is important
que nos apoyen
for you guys to
con esta
support us
ordenanza de la comida rápida.
with this fast food ordinance.
Les pedimos nos den su apoyo,
And we ask for your support
ya que es muy importante
because it is
conocer nuestros derechos
very important to know our rights,
para así poder trabajar en lugares seguros.
to be able to work in safe places.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
General comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
My name is Douglas Marmol. I have been a worker at LAS for the past 35 years and a proud member of Unite Here Local 11. I'm calling on you to prioritize the workers who are the backbone for the tourism industry and will make the Olympics a success. Unfortunately, the living wage policy has been delayed over a year. With every month is delayed, workers at LAS are missing about $1,000 a month. I have worked in the airport for many years and I plan to retire from this job. Workers like me deserve retire with dignity and we need this council to move urgency to ensure our future. We have seen how quickly council can move on other matters when you decide that are priority. We need you to take action on this item and it has been delayed far too long. We need our Olympic wage. Thank you.
Okay, and before the next speaker begins, just whoever was having the side conversation, that I noticed that there's a lot of people in chambers that seem to be distracted. In fact, I heard a shh out there. Please take the side conversations either to the back of the room or outside. You're always welcome to come back in afterwards. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Yes. Good morning is item 133, general comments.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item number 33 and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Correct. My name is Dinu Patel. I migrated from Fiji Islands in 1968. I was 16 years old. I lived and worked in Taylor Hotel in Pasadena and went to school. I became an engineer and worked. My family and I saved enough money to purchase an 82-room hotel in Los Angeles. This hotel was closed, shut down. We renovated and reopened it for hotel business. We created employment base. We managed this hotel. This is a limited service hotel. This increases will be detrimental to our business, this wage increase. We have business challenges now, loan interest high, inflation high, insurance very high, 2 to 3 times higher than normal. Business operational cost has gone 20 to 30% up. Thank you.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Good morning. Ray Patel here to speak in general comment and item 33.
Okay, so go ahead.
I'm a resident of Los Angeles and a hotel owner, a small limited service hotel owner. As you can see behind me, you have a lot of women hoteliers here today. They haven't been seen here in the last 18, 19 months that we've been coming to speak to you about legislation that would increase the minimum wage for these limited service hotels. So we've spent the last 18, 19 months coming to speak to you all in committee and council that we cannot meet payroll if we're forced to pay such a high wage because the hotels in the limited service segment have rates around $65, $85, $100. That's predominantly what our sales rates are when we rent a room. So when we entered these chambers those 18, 19 months ago, we considered ourselves Americans. Our families came to America and immigrated here. We're persons of color. But we found that when we entered these chambers, what this country turned us into as Americans, we had to describe ourselves as immigrants and persons of color to get some sort of attention. Fine. So today, please listen to these women hoteliers that have taken their time to come here and tell you they are the entrepreneurs that run 75% of your hotels in this city. And all we want is what you offer everybody in this city of 4 million people, is your governance, your legislation to be equal to everybody. And we want our equity today. Diversity, inclusiveness, equity. That's all we're asking for as Los Angelinos. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Hitu Patel, item 33, general comment as well.
So you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
Hi, I'm here to voice my opposition to the hotel minimum wage ordinance, which will be under consideration by the new Economic, Community Development and Jobs Committee. We applaud the city attention to this issue, but this ordinance is misguided. The city has not truly studied the economic impact that would be felt by small, family-owned hotels and by the city itself. If the proposed wage increase were to take effect, hotels have no choice but to reduce their services and amenities, like closing restaurants or getting rid of valet parking. Some hotels may be forced to eliminate positions or even close operations entirely. The city economic study failed to consider the scales of losses across sectors. I also want to say that, council people, please look at these people here. This is not a giant corporation. This is not a giant printing machine. There are limits to what we can do or what we can offer. The city proposed wage increases would be unaffordable and the tremendous hardship for local businesses. Please let's work together to find a proposal that works for the employees, hotels, operators, and the city of LA. Thank you.
Before the next speaker begins, I will call more names. Yasmin Bakhta, Tommy, Thelmy Alvarez, Seth Jacobson, Megan Wong, Maria Romero, Kevin Orange, Jay Richardson,
Okay. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
My name is Naresh Bhakta. I'll be speaking on item 33 and a general comment, please.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
Esteemed members of the City Council, thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I stand before you along with many of us right behind standing, representative of minority-owned and immigrant business owners in hospitality industry. We are deeply concerned about the proposed $30 minimum wage. Our industry is built on a hard work and a dedication, but with such a significant increase and a payroll cost, many of us will struggle to sustain our businesses. This financial burden could lead to reduced services, layoffs, and even closures, impacting not just business owners, but our employees and community as large. Many of us are here. The expenses that we bear, the OTA commissions, brand fees, licenses, various taxes, huge cost of insurance, maintenance, unwarranted losses by vandalisms and damages,
general public comment,
utilities, free breakfast, Wi-Fi, and of course a payroll. We urge you to consider the unique challenges that faced by the businesses with 150 rooms and below, and the vital role we play in a local economy. A $30 minimum wage through the intention could be detrimental to industry's survival. We ask your understanding and support in finding a balanced solution that considers the sustainability of our small businesses and livelihood of those who are depend on them. Thank you so much.
Good morning. If you could
Good
please
morning.
remind us of the name you signed up on and which items would you like to speak to?
Yeah, I'm talking on item 33.
Okay, so you
And
have
my name is Daksha. I'm a single mother. I own hotel in Hollywood. And it is the council member Hugo District. I cannot afford the $30 wage increase. If you do this, I will have to close my hotel. And you will ruin my life. Thank you.
Good morning, Frederick Silic.
Good morning.
General comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
A look through our history reporting and you see a general idea of progress from hunting gathering to an agricultural strategy. This is only partial alignment with reality. We seem to be still destructive, remaining in the hunting enterprise, a little less intense but still hunting our fellow species. We need an alternative to hunting. We need an attitude of replenishment. We need our words and actions not to be used as mere bait, but to be much more valuable and lead to the replenishment, respect, and growth of all life. We need to move to a much more life-promoting alternative, leading to the replenishment of each other's health and the supply of resources in general. This is a time we should call the time of cultivation. This is the time of the cultivator, cultivating new ideas, new ways, and a much more effective strategy for replenishment of resources. Socialism is the challenge of socialized behavior to create.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
As you already know, because I put it in the kiosk,
So
33,
I do
35.
not see them on,
Yeah,
I don't
Bob
have
has
access to
it,
it. So
but he
I'm
doesn't
going to
wanna
ask
read
you
it off.
politely, which items would you like to speak to?
33, 35, 36, 37, 39, 40, 44, and 45.
Thank you. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
All right, 33. I strongly oppose putting Kevin De Leon on more committees. He needs to be on 0 committees. Maybe to satisfy the charter, put him on the board of referred powers that doesn't ever meet, that literally never meets. But, you know, having him on the more committees, that's the exact opposite of what the community wants. Get him off committees. And y'all claim, oh, we got too much work. You know, you meet for what, 3 days a week for 2 hours, and then you get a couple 20-minute committee meetings. You're not really working that much. You get frequent recesses. So I think you can handle being on a couple more committees to prevent the racist from being on committees. We have item 35, which is related to the Greenwood Square Park, adding closing hours to it. So this is obviously to target unhoused people, so no on that. Get housing and services for unhoused people, not just more closing the parks. Item 36 is related to preventing retaliation for reporting public health concerns. I'd like to report a public health concern that, you know, people might want to be able to call in the committee meetings to protect their people that are immunocompromised, don't want to come here. So letting people call in the committee meetings would help with people's public health, potentially. We have item 37, which is related to a RV ban in CD10. You should remove the RV ban entirely, not amend it to, I don't know if you're like fixing a typo or what you're doing here, but you shouldn't have any RV bans. You should be opposing these RV bans, and you should be removing them from the, all right, we got item 39. That's making Officer Tracy the voting delegate for the annual business meeting. No on making Tracy Park the delegate for anything. She shouldn't be the one representing the city in this kind of stuff. We have, because she's anti-unhoused and such. We have item 44, which is a Kevin De Leon motion. Kevin De Leon shouldn't have anything on the agenda. Anything he introduces, you should reject. Right, Ulysses? You should, right, Hugo? You should reject these motions and vote no on them. So, because Kevin De Leon shouldn't be getting anything approved by the council. And item 45 is related to inspecting stuff coming in and out of the Port of Los Angeles.
General public comment?
Yes, I know I can see the clock. So yeah, item 45 is related to inspecting stuff coming in and out of the Port of Los Angeles. You should make sure that there are no weapons or arms to Israel going through the Port of Los Angeles. Make sure that we're not sending any bombs to Israel for them to bomb the Palestinians and Gaza and wherever else they're bombing at this point, because they're committing a genocide against the Palestinian people. Speaking of which, you should consider that ceasefire resolution. Are any of you actually even paying attention? Would you two shut up and actually listen to public comment for once in your life?
Stick to the items.
I'm on general comment.
Okay, stop a second. Camilla Lewis, you're excluded from this meeting. You've been warned 3 times. Leave the meeting. Sergeants, escort her out. Get out. You need to leave. Stop disrupting the meeting. We will not listen to your disruptions. You need to leave right now. You've been warned multiple times this meeting and in many meetings.
She can provide accompaniments to my comment.
Go ahead, sir. Give us your enlightening last 12 seconds. Go ahead.
But yeah. Oh, now you're leaving because you're so embarrassed about me yelling you about leaving. Would you two stay seated and listen to public comment? That's what we're trusting you to do that and actually listen to people.
Okay,
Come
thank
on.
you, sir.
Resign.
And welcome.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Item 33 and general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. And if you could do us a favor and pull the microphone down just a little bit so we can hear you. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Yasmin Bakhta. and I am a Hispanic woman immigrant, owner of a limited service motel in Los Angeles. I am here to ask the council to carve out the limited service hotels from the proposed legislation by Councilman Current Price. The sudden increase to 30 plus 8 per hour would jeopardize the financial stability of our hotels. We cannot afford this sudden increase of 30 plus 8 per hour. We are economy and budget motels that derive revenues only from room rentals. We don't have extra income from parking, spas, restaurants, banquet halls, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Our ADRs are very affordable. Our income is limited, therefore. We service families with limited budget, veterans, workers, senior citizens, and individuals that are unable to rent apartments. We are mom and pop motels owned by hardworking immigrants of color. Our hotels range from 10 rooms to 150 rooms. Some of us are franchises and others independent hotels managed and operated by our families. So much so that many of us still reside in our hotels. This is our bread and butter. We put our life savings into our business. Our hotels are not owned by big foreign corporations, nor by a large American corporation. The study completed by Beacon Economics ignored completely the limited service hotels. It failed to comply with the committee's requirements, and you spent $178,000? What a waste of money. Sure, this council would have found out that the limited service hotels are a different segment of the hospitality industry. We are your constituents. We are residents of the city of Los Angeles. We ask this council to recognize and acknowledge the limited service hotels as a separate segment of the industry and carve us out. Thank you.
Good morning. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Thank you, Jungle Funny. Yes. So let's see. Number 33, United States of America versus Jose Luis Huizar. Committees are the most important power structure in the city government and the most likely for corruption. So let's see here. Oh, you're going to change the council committee structure. Some more council members get indicted. Let's give them a hand. Beautiful. Oh, yes. So let's see here. Civil rights, that's chaired by Hugo. You might get maybe 6 years when your time comes. Let's see here. Economic community, oh, that's Buckethead. Look at that dumb shit over there. You shouldn't be chair of anything. Travel, trade, and terrorism, oh, that's Tracy Irene Park. Known to the FBI, I hear, as Tracy Irene Beach. Which name are you using today, Tracy? Yeah, she's not paying attention. No, she is, but she's wearing a wire. Oh, okay. So now we get to number 10. A senior city multi-purpose center? Fuck senior purpose centers. Let's turn that into a homeless shelter. I mean, you got the homeless all outside of it already. Let them in. And then number 2, the Sherman Way Van Nuys shithole park over there. Well, Bob knows about that. Bob drove down there one time. That's in CD2. Paul Martin Krikorian, my former master, the goat herder. Yes. So that piece of shit park will now be closed to the homeless. Of course, we don't call it the homeless, because if you call it the homeless, that would be targeting there. Let's ask that attorney over there. Buckethead, is that right, McOsker? Is that what we call it, targeting? Yes, big fat-headed dumb shit. So now we get over here, 39, Long Beach. Fuck Long Beach. We don't want anything to do with them. They don't have any businesses. In fact, why are we taking Long Beach's former police chief as our own? This isn't Long Beach. This is the city of corruption. This is the city of Los Angeles.
I need you to connect it to the actual item, and that's about the League of Cities conference.
I'm sorry. It's a... Ew! I told you. Ew! My nose. Ew! So now let's see. Ew! That hurt. Ew. Number 40, Ocean's 11. Oh, that's over there. That's a Buckethead situation. He's trying to shut down an RV park. And the reason why? He doesn't want you to live in an RV in a legal park. No, he wants you to rent a $4,000 apartment so you can take and make your children starve. Fuck you, you piece of shit. Now for my general comment. So, I went up to Lompoc yesterday. I was in the mood, so I took a drive up there to Santa Barbara, and I ran into Jose Huizar. What the fuck was he doing up in Lompoc? Jesus Christ. And he walks into a federal facility, and they locked him up. What the fuck is going on? Well, he got 13 years. Holy shit! Bob, you promised me that Huizar wouldn't go. I thought you were going to pay the judge off. Didn't any of you pay the judge off? Money count. How come they didn't pay off the judge? How come they didn't pay off the FBI? Kevin, what the fuck is going on here? How come they're not paying off the fucking FBI like the building inspectors? I don't understand this. So also, Raymond Chan is going away for 12 years. 25 fucking years for stealing. You dumb fucking stupid assholes. Boy, get a new job. You better start picking up garbage on the...
Your time has expired. Next speaker. Good morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Okay, sweetheart Pumpkinhead. Let's go to item 33 on this agenda regarding Juju Bloomfield and the new president, Monkey Dawson. Yeah, we're looking for civil rights equity for the Disability Committee. Well, I'm disabled. I want to be the chairman of the committee and run this fucking city down to its graveyard, the way you've done in the last 15 motherfucking years regarding the so-called structure and jurisdictions. Because the only fool here with the bar license, for the record, number 317-217, is you, Pumpkinhead. Now I got you to smile, huh, fool? Yeah, I know your bar license. I filed a complaint, Buckethead. Did you hear that? I told the Bar Association that under the advisory of the Commission and the Department of Aging,
So your time has expired on this item. Please move on to another item.
I'm 33, motherfucker. I'm slow. I get additional accommodations.
You're welcome to continue during general if you'd like.
Huh? What?
You're welcome to continue talking about that during general if you'd like, but for now, please stick to the items.
Fine. Let's go to CD10. Another Juju named Bloomfield talking about Washington Boulevard. Am I right? Isn't that the area off of West Washington Boulevard, Pumpkinhead? The community impact statement doesn't reflect what Jose Luis Huizar did on record for 15 years. He created a criminal enterprise. And that's the reason why the majority of the people here will celebrate with me. Woo! Fuck you, Lone Park. Put them behind bars for the physical impact statement that I and individuals had made record upon record and statement upon statement saying that LA sucks a big caucus. So let me go to item number 1. No, fuck item number 1. Fuck item number 2. Let's just go to all these fucking items on the agenda here. Look, CD14, Kevin debate tonight or tomorrow night is going to be fantastic. Because Kevin De Leon is the only...
This is not on the agenda. Again, you're welcome to talk to it, speak to it during general. So please stick to the agenda item.
Item number 2, CD14. The councilman's on that agenda. Am I right or wrong? Are you deaf or
Yes,
stupid
but you
or
need to
blind?
speak to the substance of the item.
Goddamn Pumpkinhead. You know what? Matter of fact, fuck that. Let me go into non-agenda public comment,
Okay,
Pumpkinhead.
so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Now that you know you're a racist, now that you know you discriminate against white people and Asian people, motherfucker, I hope you can explain that to the bar after I filed my complaint last week about you taking sides, allowing the and all that bullshit versus me speaking in my, you so long, no Hawaii. I try to communicate for a weekend. No, fuck you. under BOP 795-18112. When you decide to write your letters to Weezer in his 13 years of incarceration by Judge John F. Walter, I want you all to remember 42 U.S.C. 1983, Weezer made me homeless. Fuck you, and fuck that other Chinese asshole for the 12 years, Mr. Chan, in building and safety, an asshole engineer in development, and fuck you, Mr. Attorney.
And your time has expired. Next speaker.
Do you want your papers? No.
Good morning. If you could please let us know which items you'd like to speak to.
Could you kindly advise which items are available for public comment?
So the items that are available for public comment on the agenda are items 1 through 16 and items 24 through 46.
Thank you. 33,
Hold
41.
on, sorry. Your time has not started. Mr. Herman, I can still hear you in the background. Please do not interrupt the speaker's public comment. So this is your first and only warning. Sorry. Which items?
Good morning. 33, 41, general comment.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Good morning, honorable team. Most of you received this morning, an email from our organization. I want to find it relative to point 33, Ms. Eunice Hernandez's redevelopment plan for the council offices and for this administration. In 2018, her predecessor, Gil Cedillo, and numerous individuals who are now disgraced, were the founders of a redevelopment plan where they were allocated 20 regional sites from the CRA-LA-DLA. This weekend, another death took place in a shooting at a private function where the security guard died. There is an investigation. Please be quiet. And now our dream city is being invested where
So your
people
time on
are,
that item
I'm
has
still
expired.
speaking and
Please
you're
move
gonna
on to
let them
another item.
go. Our dream city is being invested where we have hopes and dreams and people are being utilized to their death.
Speaker, which
Now,
item are you
point
speaking
41.
to? Go ahead.
The bid in respects to Mr. Soto Martinez and Eunice Hernandez, they are fulfilling obligations that are pertinent to these investors and private organizations. We have 911 calls, fire department records. I have done CPR on people in these locations, and never have they not been. Ms. Eunice Hernandez, I hope you respond to my email, and I hope you are all enjoying your snacks. Again, we're in a food pandemic. No one here is eating. How could you think of reconstructing anything if you're not corresponding with your constituency? I am not the only one. General comment.
General.
So in 2018, we had Gil Cedillo, Weezer, Kevin De Leon, Mitchell Farrell, were all representatives, and Mr. Marquise Dawson, Kerkorian was also in the 2018 CPC 2018-6005 CA commissionary planning document. 20 regions that were allocated into the city are now not being used, and near 5 years, in 2016, July 19th, the zoning commission advised that they were now within the process of the city was now an agent. You are breaking Health and Safety Code 33125 for the California state. This will be submitted to the Secretary of State this afternoon. It has already been submitted to all of your emails. The mayor's office, Ms. Karen Bass, you cannot let this poor leadership eat in front of hungry people. Parents do not eat in front of children.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
General public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
This is in regard to holographs, their owners, their programmers, and the organization they represent. I personally believe that the organization should have the names of the owners, their telephone numbers. They should have the names and addresses and telephone numbers of the holograph so that they all of them can stay on the same page at all times, and especially in times of emergency.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
My name is Maria Romero, and I'm here for item 33 and public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
Thank you. I'm here for general public comment. Airport, hotels, and tourism workers have been coming to the city council and the repetitive community for over 540 days with a simple but important message. Wage delays are wage denies. Delay the monitoring of living wage ordinance is costing workers like me over $1,000 a month. That means I have to choose between healthy food, and for my daughter, and paying bills on time. That's wrong. I urge you to form the community and the economic development community today so workers can get a relief of been fighting for. Thank you.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to? And if you could remind us of the name you signed up under.
My name is Kevin Orange, and I will be speaking on item 33 and general comments.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
Thank you. My name is Kevin Orange. I've been working at the airport for 19 years. I'm also a ramp agent that's outside. So I pretty much take care of the flights, and I'm here to represent all airport workers, whether they're above the wing or below the wing. We've been coming here for quite a bit. It's been over 500 days that we've been coming here, and we kind of don't want further delays. In the industry that I work in, delays are bad. Delays are bad in my industry of the airport. Delays impact hotels, food, and of course travel. The holidays are coming up soon. We just want to make sure there's no further delays. We want to make sure we take care of everybody that's coming into our city for the holidays, that's going to be safe and sound. We just urge that, you hear us out and form this committee as soon as possible. And if we can help, we're open to help you guys. Thank you.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Item 33 y un comentario público, necesito traducción.
Item 33 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general.
Un minuto para el punto y un minuto para comentario público general.
Gracias. Mi nombre es María Torres y he trabajado en Fly and Food por los últimos 8 años.
My name is Maria Torres and I've been working in Fry and Food for the last 8 years.
Y soy una miembro orgullosa de United Health Local 11.
And I am a proud member of United Health Chapter 11.
Mi trabajo consiste en lavar los platos y los equipos que entran y salen a las aerolíneas internacionales que vuelan desde LAX.
My work is to wash the dishes and the equipment from international airlines that come and go from LAX.
El salario olímpico es clave para mí y para resolver mi crisis de la vivienda.
The Olympic wage is important for me to resolve my problem of living.
Actualmente estoy alquilando un lugar para mi esposo y para mí.
Right now I am renting a place for my husband and for me.
Y me subió 250 el año pasado.
And it increased 250 last year.
Ahora el alquiler podría volver a subir. Mi esposo y yo
Right now, the rent might increase again.
estamos pensando en mudarnos fuera del estado.
My husband and I are thinking of moving out of the state.
No quiero mudarme porque mis hijos y mis nietos viven aquí. He estado toda mi vida en Los Ángeles.
I don't want to move because my children and my family is here, and I've been here all my life.
También me gusta mi trabajo y lo que hago. Trabajamos muy duro y merecemos un salario digno.
I like my work, and we work very hard, and we deserve a worthy salary.
Les pedimos a cada uno de ustedes que haga avanzar esta política. Gracias.
We ask you to each one of you to move and advance this policy. Thank you.
Okay, we've done now more than an hour and a half in person. We're going to do 10 minutes on the phone for public comment. We've obviously extended it quite a bit already, but we want to give the folks on the phone a little bit of a chance to speak. So if we could move to the phones.
Speaker with the digits ending in 4208, please unmute yourself.
Speaker with the last four digits 4208. This is your last opportunity to speak. Please press *6 to unmute now.
They dropped off the call.
Okay.
Speaker with the digits ending in 9519, please unmute yourself.
Speaker, I'm sorry, what were the last four digits?
9519.
Okay, so speaker with the last four digits 9519. This is your last opportunity to speak. Please press *6 to unmute now.
Yes, my name is Jason, and I'm a smoker scan viewer.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
What items you got for me today, Pumpkinhead?
Okay, so this is for everyone on the phones. The items that are open for public comment are items 1 through 16 and 24 through 46.
Cool. Well, let me get all available items and general public comment, if you would please, kind
So
sir.
you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Good deal. Cool. Question: can we get like a billboard down on the corner because maybe like Lost Pound, what they put like Lost Pets or whatever? Because the other day I was down on Figueroa with this chick and I lost my drawers somewhere along the way, and there was a good pair of drawers, you know, the ones you going out with your drawers. And I was just thinking, if I had a billboard up there, I don't
So
want to
speaker,
take
which item are you speaking to? It
Yes,
does not
sir.
appear to
We
be on
only
the
have a
agenda.
limited amount of time. Speak to the items. We're going to go straight to general public comment. You're taking the time of other speakers. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Bob, I ran into your boyfriend Neil the other day.
Okay, so you're on general
said y'all
public
doing
comment.
some good
You've been
things
asked
together there.
politely. Now you're on general. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Well, that's mighty whitey there, brother. Anyway, shout out to the smoke can community. I was saying there, if we could get like some, some billboards down there, maybe like some of them fathead posters, lost and found. That way, like the other day I was down there, I lost my drawers with this chick because, she was like having issues there. She was choking and gagging because, I guess some of my baby batter came out of my pipe and went down the wrong pipe for her.
This is
And
not within the subject
I think
matter
maybe
jurisdiction of the
somewhere in
city. This is your only warning. Please connect it to something that's
Mhm.
within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city.
Right. Well, that's what I was doing. I was saying about the billboards and the fathead poster down there for the lost and found. I can find my drawers, and I don't want to say the chick ran off with my drawers, but I had them. But then when I paid my $5 and she was done, I didn't have them. So I'm somewhere along the line. I lost a good pair of Fruity Looms, and they were the good kind, with a little pocket in the front where you have a nice little nest for your cocking balls. So you have extra room there, so you won't wind up sitting on them.
Still needs
I
to
know
be
that may
within
be a
the
problem you have there, Pumpkin.
issues of this council.
Yes,
Can't
sir,
be
Bob?
that general. Okay, your time's expired.
Well, all right,
Speaker,
Bob,
your
you
time
have a
has
good one, brother.
expired. Next speaker.
Shout out to the smoke.
Call-in user 4, please unmute yourself.
Item 33 in general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
Item 33. Looks like there will be some housekeeping at City Council committee meetings. And speaking of housekeeping, I'd like to move to general public comment. With the new City of Los Angeles City Council President sharing in an AM radio interview, and I quote, "The one thing that Council President can't do is stop people from talking. Not that I would if I could." With those words, I look forward to the returning of the telephonic public comment at City Council committee meetings. And again, I quote, "The one thing that Council President can't do is stop people from talking. Not that I would if I could." I also look forward to the return of a more robust telephonic public comment at City Council meetings. In closing, Please support AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act. Thank you.
Caller with the digits ending in 2616. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you. It's Eric Previn. I'd like to speak on the available items and a general public comment.
Okay, good morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
But a quick point of order. This morning, when you were reading all of those amendments, the telephone was connected, but we weren't able to hear all of those amendments. So I'm going to have to ask that you read all of those amendments, including the
So
lengthy
can you pause this time really quick? So
department
just,
division.
normally we do not do so for a point of order. Your time is paused. So I've confirmed that that Channel 35 and YouTube were up and available. So again, please stick to the items for your first 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
And then I'll get on to the
Mr.
items right
Previn,
now.
if you'd like
yeah,
to
let's
talk.
get on to the items
okay.
right now. Public and, yeah,
Go
don't
ahead
interrupt
with
me,
the items.
Rose, you little prick. Just shut up. Thank you. So the application for the determination of public convenience and necessity for the sale of alcoholic beverages, the one out on Oxnard, I just have to raise the point with Krikorian because we are mowing people down out there, Bloomingfield knows, at an alarming rate. So I just wonder, is this really what you want to do, given all the things that we can do and all the belly aching about Vision Zero, or as we say, zero vision? The people in Studio City are highly worried about all these truck routes. And I don't know, Bloomingfield, I know Krikorian is virtually checked out, but are you considering the implications of valley fever by doing digging up projects right in neighborhoods without any warning or EIR? It's just really, really bad. And I know Raman doesn't give a shit, but I was hoping that maybe somebody cares because this liability is completely out of control. As you said earlier at the top of the show, which I've been saying coincidentally for about 5 years, and everybody tries to say, oh, no, we don't get to talk on the legal settlements because Krikorian doesn't believe it's appropriate. Now Krikorian's gone. Mr. Harris.
Mr. Previn, I can't tell which item you're speaking to. So please identify the item you're speaking to.
Yeah, I'm speaking about, no, let me go to the item that you want. You want me to speak on 44? That's fine. I'm happy to speak on 44.
Okay, go ahead.
Don't worry. All right. Actually, make it 33, because this one was the hypocrisy motion where careful litigation between a melange of departments and ideas are mushed into 3 separate groups: civil rights, equity, immigration, aging, and disability. That's one. That's one group. And when you look into aging, make sure you check into Jameson Properties and how they've got such a big hand in pushing out money to poor people, to old people. Very, very sneaky, Herb Wesson. Economic, community development, and jobs, the second one. This is just a nightmare for any human person to look at. It's just a big mayor's office of reentry. And it's just the jurisdictional oversight is absurd. And then trade, travel, and tourism. Here we have the marketing of LA. Here's where the mega event, alcohol consumption, and basically, I don't know if you saw at the Dodger game, fans were throwing equipment at the Padres. This is what we've become. This is what we've become as a city that wants to beat the crap out of all the people who come and try to take us on. I mean, it's just appalling. It's appalling how an actual culture and kind of part of Los Angeles that people can connect to has been replaced by the vision of Mayor James T. Butts, who sees, like you see downtown as the mecca for homeless people. This is the mecca for cars and drinking, and come to our community. We'll have a big party every night. And yes, we're sorry that the fireworks exploded on you in South Central, but don't worry, Mr. Harris Dawson is now in control. And he will do what? Nothing. Will he allow people to speak in committee meetings over the telephone? Look at Yaroslavsky, look at Hernandez, look at Raman, who all believed that was important. No, he won't, because he is Herb Wesson Jr. He is a little county strongman. We look forward to him becoming a supervisor one day. It's just appalling. And I have to ask this body with a straight face, do you really think that the way you deal with closed sessions until 6 p.m. when the public is not around talking about redistricting is the appropriate way to go? Does that really feel like transparency for all these progressives who got elected on the idea that, outraged that Kevin De Leon and Nori Martinez and Gil Cedillo, could they possibly have been back? And then you go right into the back room, all with the hue and cry of Banta's report that says you need help with the Brown Act. Guess what? I'm here to help you with the Brown Act again. We taught you in 2019, how special meetings were open to the public.
Speaker, your time has
Now we're going to
expired.
teach you that doing what
Call-in user 8, please unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, Brock Landers, Los Angeles private investigator. All open items and general public comment.
Good afternoon. You have 1 minute for the, you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
All right, 33 on the jurisdiction for the $30 minimum wage that the airport people were talking about. I used to be the maitre d' at a Ted Bell's Steakhouse where we like to put our meat in your mouth. And if Mr. Bell would have had to pay $30 an hour to everybody, he would have had to go out of business. And I think it's sad that you guys try to act like you have something that you want to help small businesses with, but you guys don't care about the small businesses that are down on Figueroa. You act like you don't have anything to do with them when obviously you do because they're a part of the city. And if you don't get the joke there, Bob, it's Nil and Bob. That's how you give the blowjob to
So I
Mark
need you to stick to the agenda, or I'm going to move you to general public comment.
I am talking about the jurisdiction on 33. So that is, but we can go to general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Shout out to Smoke and Scan and the Dead Mike, be a man, pay your bets. And, you know, as it goes to city council, I'd like to talk about the people acting like I'm a little 5150 or something. And actually, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. Like, you keep asking people over and over again to fix your hand job court so that you have a nice place that you can sell your hand job. That you're the crazy one, buddy, that we're living rent free in your head. And I'm sorry for that. All you got to do is apologize for sticking your hand where it doesn't belong. And shout out again to Smoke and Scan. Love you, Damon.
Okay, so my understanding is that there is an amendment on item number 22, and that would be item number 22B from Councilmember Park. Yes, okay, so I will read it into the record. And just to be clear for everyone who's here, this is a report back. So again, there's no actual action being taken. It is a report back for the departments. So the motion reads that I move that item number 22 on today's council agenda be amended to include additional recommendations. 4, instruct the Los Angeles Department of Transportation to report within 30 days with a spending plan for the city revenue that will be collected for the bus lane violation enforcement program. The plan should include a percentage breakdown, prioritizing core services and programs that are essential to safety and mobility, including but not limited to the following. A, restoration of traffic officer positions deleted in the fiscal year 2024 to 2025 budget, or a set aside for overtime in order to conduct parking enforcement. B, full or partial restoration of services and programs that were curtailed in the fiscal year 2024 to 2025 budget, including but not limited to the speed hump program and paint and sign maintenance. C, funding for safe street infrastructure at the top 50 locations where street takeovers occur, as well as pedestrian safety improvements. D, transportation improvements and temporary staffing related to the 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games. And E, allocation of a percentage of the revenue to implement safety and mobility initiatives in council districts with bus lines participating in the bus lane enforcement pilot program, in addition to recommendations as further lines and bus lanes are incorporated. So is there a second to this? I was told that it is Councilmember Hutt. Yes, okay. And again, just to be clear, this is only asking for a report back. So.
Caller with the digits ending in 4610, please unmute yourself.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Which items would you like to speak to?
All available. Wait, there was a bunch of changes. Can you please tell me the items available.
The items
And
that are
also
open.
general public comment.
Sure. The items that are open for public comment are items 1 through 16, 24 through 46.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. All available items, general public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. These items coordinated very professionally by the city attorney and the city clerk. Thank you very much. We have a CEQA exemption for the vacation of probably an alleyway or something. I don't understand why does a regulation or a provision or a state mandated law or whatever, how can it just be exempted at every turn? It doesn't really make any sense. If something is supposed to be held to that restriction, I mean, I don't understand why you wouldn't even evaluate it, unless it's because you feel like, oh, it's not worth your time, and yet you feel like it's worth your time to do reports that you don't even follow the results of. So I don't understand how you guys manage your time. This is really funny. Whenever you see, oh, I want a project that needs to go forward. Oh, CEQA exemption. Oh, a vacation of an alley, CEQA exemption. But there really typically isn't an explanation as to why.
I ask you to move on to another item.
Sure. We have liquor licenses here. And this is more than one item, so I should have quite a bit of time. I don't understand how you establish a public necessity or convenience for a liquor license. There's no shortage of a place to get a drink in the city, county, state. I mean, unless you're driving far as fuck, there's a rest stop every so miles. You can get a drink even if you're on a road trip. There's no shortage of places to get a drink. We have here a no-cost lease continuation for the city senior center. Obviously, I don't think we should be paying, money for a city-owned senior center, fucking property lease. But I just think it's interesting how the city has all these arrangements where they don't have to pay to rent places, and so to them, rent basically is non-existent when they don't want it to exist. But for the rest of us, people that live in apartments, even people that own businesses, they can't just say, oh, you know what, that rent is inconvenient. So you know what, I don't have to pay rent. It's pretty crazy. You would think that as adults, it'd be a simple concept to understand, and yet they don't get it. We have these business improvement districts. That's another item. You know what would improve the business in East Hollywood? If you cut all the rents in half for the businesses that operate there. The number one cost is motherfucking rent. Okay? They'll say labor, but really they mean the liability associated with labor. It's the rent. The rent is crazy. It's not going down. And honestly, I don't really have a lot of sympathy for some of these business owners because they don't want to pay more to their employees, but they don't want to advocate or do anything to lower the price of rent, which is the whole reason why we need higher wages. No one can afford the rent.
General
You have to
public
pay
comment?
rent for your business, so you understand. General public comment. For a lot of this meeting, there was no audio on the phone. You guys did a bunch of amendments and a bunch of work that people listening on the phone didn't get a chance to hear. It's ridiculous. You need to have somebody listening on the phone the whole time and fix that error before you proceed with stuff in the city's business. And speaking of proceeding with the city's business, you have no respect for the public's time. I don't understand how you can be appointed as the president of city council and then get up and leave during public comment. It's heinous. It's a crime against humanity. And the public is going to hold you accountable. I pray that no one else is harmed when the public inevitably takes physical violent action against you guys. There was an attempt on President Trump recently. Unfortunately, a bystander got killed. If that sort of thing happens to somebody, a city council, I pray that no one else is harmed. Okay? That's what I'm praying for, that no one else is harmed when the public inevitably takes physical violent action against the city council.
Caller,
You
your
hear what
time
the
has
public is saying.
expired. And just as an FYI for everybody, if you also look at the agendas, anytime there are technical difficulties with one of the mediums that you receive or that you're listening to this meeting, there are multiple ways to do it. So you can listen in on Zoom. That is one option. You can also tune in on YouTube, which there should be a link on the city clerk's website along with the agenda. And you can also tune in via channel 35. So if in the event that any of those mechanisms to listen to the meeting goes down, you can always use a different mechanism. And again, that direction should be included on the agenda.
Caller with the digits ending in 8990, please unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Which items would you like to speak to?
Oh, hi. Good morning. Thank you, sir. Yeah, first of all, Hugo should be ashamed not siding with the residents in the 40 RSO complex in Hollywood on Whitley
I'm sorry.
Avenue.
Before you begin, which items would you like to speak to?
I'm doing general public comment. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Thank you.
so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
We thought that Hugo would be different from O'Farrell. He would not side with those residents who fought 2 years to save their RSO homes there. Well, Hugo supports the hotel too. Thank you, Hugo. I think we should think about recalling certain people. I also want to warn everybody there that Trump had warned voters that the Democrats will get rid of single-family neighborhoods. Our beloved vice president, who some of us are working hard doing everything we can to help her get into the White House, is on the campaign trail promising to have more opportunities for home ownership for the American dream, for equity and generational wealth, as some of our politicians here are thinking of getting rid of single-family neighborhoods. Trump will surely use this against her. We cannot afford anything like that to come up at this time. I just want everybody, he said, beware, this is what Democrats will do, and the Democrats might be doing it here now. And she comes from California, which makes it even worse. Thank you.
Okay, is that the last caller? Okay, let's move forward. What's next on the desk? Yeah, that closes public comment.
Mr. President, there is a request to continue item 6 to October 9th, 2024, sir.
Okay, without objection, that's the order.
No, for the record, it's item 46.
46, not 6?
Yes, sir. Item 46, continue to October 9th. Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you for that clarification. Without objection, that is so order. What's next?
Next, Mr. President, council may now vote on items 1 through 11, 15, 16, 24 through 32, 35, 36, 38, 39, 41, and 45, sir.
Okay, do any members wish to be heard on these items? Seeing no members on the queue, let's open the roll, close the roll, and tally the votes. Okay.
15 ayes.
15 ayes, the measure is agreed to. What's next?
Next would be item 37. That was called special by Councilmember Hernandez for a special vote, sir.
Okay, do any members wish to be heard on this item? Seeing no members on the queue, let's open the roll, close the roll, tally the vote.
13 ayes, 2 noes.
Okay, that measure is adopted. Next.
Next would be item 22. And item 22, there are 2 different amendments. So council may vote on the amendment 22B first.
All right, we're at 22B. Are there members wishing to be heard? Mr. Blumenfield?
Colleagues, I'm going to urge a no vote on both amendments, 22B and 22A. Not because I don't like what's being suggested in terms of how to spend the money. I think they're great ideas of how to spend the money. I'm totally down with that. But we should not be making those decisions now on the fly in this room. I talked at the beginning of this meeting about what a dire financial situation that we're in. Even though I know it's a report back for a report, we're still discussing how we're going to spend that money. That should be done through the budget process, not necessarily waiting for the end of the year, but through the FSR or through the regular order of things. This is a revenue source, just like any other revenue source. We should not be, just because we have the opportunity to spend it or decide how it should be spent at the time that we are engaging with it, we shouldn't be making that decision at this point. So again, it's not on the substance of what you're both proposing. You're both proposing things that actually are opposite in some ways, but I think that's something that's worthy of a discussion in the context of our budget and in the context of our general fund revenues. This is general fund revenue. We should treat it that way, and we should decide how to spend it. Again, I agree with the concepts of where you're thinking of spending it, but I cannot, especially in this financial moment in time, agree to spend this money or even to start that process where we're asking for a report back on specific ways to spend that money. So I'm going to vote no, and I urge everyone to vote no on the amendments.
Thank you, Mr. Blumenfield. Any other speakers on this item? All right, Madam Clerk, what's before us? Oh, sorry. Councilmember Rahman.
Yes,
sorry.
Mr.
Can I
President.
just ask a question to Councilmember Blumenfield, which is, are you encouraging a no vote on the original motion as well?
I'm sorry, be very clear. I'm support the original motion. The original motion is not spending the money. The original motion is putting the cameras in and getting the revenue and starting that process. I'm a strong supporter of the underlying motion and will be voting yes on the underlying motion. But in terms of these amendments that are discussing how to spend this new revenue source, I don't think that is appropriate at this moment, and I'm going to vote no on those amendments.
Thank you. Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Thank you. I have a question. My understanding, based on looking at both of these amendments, is that they call for reports. Does that change it at all for you?
It's better than direct spending it, but it's still determining, the reports are still very, very much loaded in terms of how we spend that money. And I think that needs to be the subject of a conversation that we have through the budget process. All of the ideas that are put forward are good ideas. There are other ideas too of how we could spend the money, but we're basically trying to game the system to some extent by asking for that report on how it can be spent. Again, it's not the end of the world. It is a report, but I think it is setting us on a course to spend that money in a specific way when we have a process to do that.
So would you support moving these amendments for consideration to budget?
Sure. I would support that.
Okay.
Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you. Ms. Yaroslavsky, I was actually going to recommend that if we would just send these amendments for consideration when it comes back for it to be considered in Budget Committee.
Second that.
Councilmember Krikorian.
Okay, go ahead.
So I kind of heard two things here. Let me just say from the outset, both of these motions, I agree with Councilmember Blumenfield, are really good ways to spend this money. So I agree with the suggestions of what should be priorities. But I also, again, as Mr. Blumenfield's predecessor, am very sensitive to the risks that we run when we start doing any kind of budgeting on the fly, even in good times, let alone in challenging times. So I agree with Councilmember Blumenfield's concerns. But I think I heard two different things here. One was referring these motions, the motions for amendment, to the Budget Committee as one suggestion. But then I thought I heard that, and maybe I misunderstood Councilmember Rodriguez, that it was your suggestion that we should approve the amendments and have the reports come back to the Budget Committee? So, okay, so if no one has already moved then, I would move that items 22A and 22B be referred to the Budget, Finance, and Innovation Committee. Okay, if that's what you did, then I will second your motion, because it sounded like you were saying the reports should come back to the committee, not the motions themselves. So If Councilmember Rodriguez moved, I will second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Councilmember Hernandez.
Just clarity on what the move was? Was it just sending the amendments or sending the report? Because I didn't catch that last part.
Just to clarify.
Thank you.
The motion, Rodriguez, second by Mr. Kokorian, was to refer 22A, which is motion Hernandez-Rahman, and 22B, which is motion Park Hut, to Budget, Finance, and Innovation Committee. And 22, that item itself is before council now. Okay, so that is the motion that is before council now.
So, Madam Clerk, is this one vote to approve 22 with the two motions going to committee, or is it a vote on each of these amendments?
At this point, the vote is to refer items 22A and 22B to Budget and Finance and Innovation Committee. And if that vote fails, then council can vote on each amendment separately and then item 22. So the vote now is to send 22A and B to Budget and Finance and Innovation Committee.
All right, so what's before us is to send Councilmember Hernandez.
Council President, I object to that. The referring those amendments to BFI, I don't sit on BFI. This impacts my district greatly. And so I'd love for us to have the conversation here if that's gonna happen. The things that are in these amendments are things that have been discussed in this last previous budget cycle. We're asking for filling of the positions of traffic enforcement officers that were cut during the last budget cycle. We have been given a presentation around street takeovers and given the amount that DOT needs to install that safe street infrastructure. So we've been having the conversations. We had the conversation in the committee where this work originates from. So I would object to it going to BFI.
All right, further clarification, Madam Clerk?
No. If there are no other members who wishes to speak on this, referring 22A and B to Budget and Finance Innovation Committee, then the council may take a vote now, sir.
All right, so the first motion before us is to refer amendments B and A to Budget and Finance. Council members Rodriguez and Kokorian are asking for a yes vote. Councilmember Hernandez is asking for a no vote on that item. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes, 3 noes.
All right, what's next?
So clarification, Mr. President, since this motion passes, then council may now vote on item 22 itself.
All right, item 22 is before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
All right, what's next?
Next would be item 33, and that requires 2 votes. First vote is whether to substitute.
All right, substitute motion. The vote on substituting item 33 is before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
All right. And then the second vote is on item number 33. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
All right, what's next?
Mr. President, there is a request to send item 33 forthwith, sir.
Without objection?
Next would be item 34, and that is amendment motion Hutt-Blumenfield.
All right, we have item number 34. Seeing no speakers on the queue for this item, let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
All right, what's next?
And for the record, item 34 has been amended. And next would be item 40, and that was called special by Mr. McCosker.
Mr. McCosker.
Thank you very much. Item 40 is a motion really asking for a closed session on a piece of pending litigation, and it's a matter that involves important public policy issues and statutory interpretation, items that are clearly within the purview of the City Council, and the City Council alone, frankly, and cannot be done independently by the City Attorney. I was ready for a closed session today, but apparently the City Attorney is not ready, which is fine. But I'm going to ask that this item be continued and placed on the agenda described as a closed session for a week from today.
Okay, so just to clarify, you want to continue item number 40, which means there would be no vote on it, which means that we would not be able to go into close.
I'm asking for a vote on the item. I'm asking for a vote on the item and asking for it to be placed 1 week from today in closed session as an execution of the instruction from the City Council, the governing body of this city. Thank you.
All right, so we're voting to hold a closed session 7 days from now.
For clarification, Mr. President, item 40 is requesting the city attorney to report on the closed session. So today, if council adopts that formal motion from Mr. McCosker, then the item can be agendized for the 15th. So it's best that council adopt the motion so there is a formal request to the city attorney now.
All right. Thank you so much for that clarification. Let's open the roll on that item, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
All right, what's next?
Next would be item 42, and that was amendment Harris-Dawson-Hernandez, sir.
All right, let's open the roll on item 42 as amended. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
All right, what's next?
Next would be item 43, and item 43 is a substitute motion. This requires 2 votes. The first vote that council should take is whether to substitute.
All right, let's open the roll on substitution. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
All right.
Next would be item 43. That is substitute motion Lee Park.
All right, let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15.
All right, what's next?
Finally, item 44, and that is amendment motion Rodriguez Park, sir.
All right, let's open the roll on item 44 as amended, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
All right, what's next?
Next, council has motions for posting and referral.
They are posted and referred.
That clears the desk, sir.
Thank you so much. Announcements, Mr. McCosker.
To effectuate our purposes, could I have item 40 sent forthwith?
Without objection.
Thank you.
All right, announcements, members. All right, seeing none, I'll ask everyone in the chamber to rise for adjourning motions. All right, any adjourning motions to my right? Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you. Colleagues, today I ask that we adjourn in the memory of a remarkable individual, a respected civic leader, thought leader, a mother, a grandmother, a mentor, and a friend. Maureen Kindle, who passed away on September 26, 2024, at the age of 86. Maureen was born on December 28, 1937 in New York City and moved to Los Angeles in 1971. For more than 5 decades, she was a significant figure in the political, educational, and business life of our city. Her leadership, mentorship, guidance touched the lives of countless elected officials, young professionals, and especially young women who pursued careers in public affairs, government, and education. Dr. Kindle, as we more affectionately and recently knew her, her career was marked by her ability to excel in both public and private sectors. She was an instrumental figure to Mayor Tom Bradley as an advisor, as she served as the treasurer for his gubernatorial campaigns and later became the first woman in the city's history to serve as the president of the Los Angeles Board of Public Works. It was in this role that she led the city's first program to increase participation of minority and women-owned businesses in public contracting. Her civic contributions included her work on the LA Organizing Committee for the 1984 Olympics and co-founding LA 84 Foundation, which continues to help young people grow through sports. She co-founded two significant public affairs firms, Rose & Kindle and Kindle Gagan, leaving a lasting legacy in the public affairs industry. A champion of public education, Maureen earned her master's and doctorate degrees in education from Loyola Marymount University. She dedicated herself to improving the public education system by organizing major academic education summits and being incredibly influential in the leaders who had the responsibility of making some critical decisions in public education. It's how I first became familiar with the indomitable power of Maureen Kindle, was when I worked for LA Unified and working for the president of the school board, Caprice Young. Maureen's passion for global causes led her to work alongside Nelson Mandela after his release from prison during his presidency in South Africa, an accomplishment she held dear. She is survived by her sons, Tom and Jerry Flintoff, daughter-in-laws, Ingrid and Jeanette, her beloved grandchildren, Chelsea, Stefan, Colin, Caroline, and Aiden. A memorial service in her honor will be held at Loyola Marymount University on December 4th at 10:30. Maureen Kindle leaves behind a legacy of leadership, mentorship, and service. Her contributions to the city and beyond will continue to inspire for generations to come. And though she is no longer with us, her spirit and legacy will live on in the hearts of all that knew her. Personally, I just want to say to Tom and Sam and Michael and just all of her colleagues, she was an incredible friend and mentor. I've had the privilege of knowing her for more than 25 years. As a young person, before I started at City Hall, she was always available to teaching and providing incredible advice and support for those of us that just simply wanted to make a difference. You would have never known that she wasn't a native Angelino because she led with a heart and passion for this city that was exemplified in her service as a Public Works Commissioner, in her adoration of Mayor Tom Bradley, and her commitment and loyalty and friendship. I, for one, am incredibly grateful to have been able to call her a friend. And through some of the most difficult times of experiences that I've had, both in elected or just in civic service, I am grateful for the countless text messages that I have and words of affirmation. Her friendship is something that I deeply, deeply treasured. And I know how painful it is to have lost her. But God bless her for having been such an important part of this city's history and all of our lives, because it's for that work that she will forever be remembered and revered, because she was a great Angelino, and we are all better for having had a Maureen Kindle in our life. May she rest in peace.
Well said, Councilmember Rodriguez. Councilmember McCosker.
Councilmember, that was beautifully said. Thank you so much. I too want to express my sincerest condolences and my thoughts and my prayers and the appreciation for Maureen. Going all the way back to my first days in City Hall, I would get a I would get a call and say, meet you for lunch. And sometimes it was encouragement. Often it was, here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to do differently. And her depth of experience and her commitment to the city and her devotion to this building and doing it right was just so deep and so heartfelt. And I was really honored to consider her a mentor. Fast forward years, and when I'm running for office, I get a call saying, I'm coming down to San Pedro. I'll meet you at wherever you pick. And it was really lovely 20 years later to, even though we talked a lot during that time, but in a completely different conversation, where once again she says, here's what you need to do. And it was really just in the last few years that we really shared personal stories about Irish, Catholic education, kids, grandkids. Such a wonderful, 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 lovely, strong leader for our community. I really appreciate her very much. And again, my thoughts and prayers with the entire family, all of the friends, everyone whose lives she touched, which I'm sure is this room many times over. So thank you and God bless her.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Councilmember Rodriguez, for bringing this wonderful tribute to this wonderful, amazing person. Maureen Kindle was well regarded, well respected in our space. Incredibly kind woman. Like you, Tim, when I got elected, she offered some words of advice. I was able to talk to her and have conversations with her about what, even though I was a staffer for many years, her sort of advice of moving to this next level. And her loss is a big one for the city of Los Angeles. But our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone, not only our family, but to all of us here in the city of Los Angeles who really just looked up to her because she was such an amazing woman.
Mr. De Leon.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'd like to add my comments to the speakers who just shared a few thoughts with regards to the Grand Dame of Los Angeles politics. Ms. Rodriguez, thank you very much for your eloquence and your passion. To Michael and Tom and Sam and Veronica and to Maria, collectively, our hearts go out to you and to everyone who was impacted in so many different ways by this incredible woman, Maureen Kindle. I just found out a couple days ago, and we lost a giant. By all the pictures that we're seeing, Mayor Tom Bradley, the greatest mayor in the history of the city of Los Angeles, all the other elected officials, non-elected officials, Johnny Cochran and Antonio Villaraigosa, and all these folks. She knew everybody, and all the powers knew her. And I always enjoyed conversing with her. She was full of knowledge, a great institutional person who knew, everything about local government, knew where the bodies were buried, knew everything, And, to just recently, I just really enjoyed the conversations with her. It's a huge loss, not just for our local government, but for the city as a whole. It's one of our giants, and I'd like to be added, Ms. Rodriguez. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Blumenfield.
I just want to add, first, I'd like to ask if we can make it all members. So I know we all want to be part of that. And just that she was a friend and a powerhouse. She cared about the city and was someone of incredible integrity. So may she rest in peace.
Councilmember Hutt.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. I just want to say I was just getting to know her, and it was a painful shock that she is no longer with us. Being a woman and thinking that women just got their checking accounts in 1974, and for her to push and open a big firm and be highly respected was really meaningful to me. And I just want to thank you for her contribution, for sharing your mother, sharing her experiences, and she will certainly be missed. I'm glad that, Bob, you asked for it to be all council, and please add my name. Thank you.
Councilmember Park.
Thank you, Council President, and thank you, Councilwoman Rodriguez, for the beautiful remarks and everyone else. Maureen was a trailblazer, and I benefited from her mentorship, and she took a real interest in me and getting to know me. And looking back over the few short years that I got to know her, some of my favorite memories are sitting around the kitchen counter and having coffee, and her years of wisdom and perspective that she was so generous in sharing is something that we're all really going to miss. And so, Tom, to you and Jerry and your family, your spouses, your children, and to the entire Kendall Gagan family, on behalf of Council District 11, our deepest condolences to all of you. We are here for you. And I look forward to sitting down and spending some time with you guys one-on-one. We're really, really going to miss a star over in CD 11.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much again, Councilwoman Rodriguez, for bringing this tribute and all the great comments by our council colleagues, and the slideshow that you see there truly exemplifies her contribution to the city. This woman had the touch of a social worker or a teacher or someone who you feel very familiar with, and at the same time, an hour with her was like a master's level course on both the history of the city of Los Angeles, politics, and gender studies, all in 1 hour at one time, every single time you sat with her. So our city has truly lost an institution, and we want to make sure we remember who she was to us and how much she thought of us to spend her time and her life in the way that she did. And she can be an example for each and every one of us that cares about this city. Councilmember Rodriguez.
And I just would be remiss if I didn't say, heaven just got a little more fabulous with this woman and her glamour and her glasses, and it's going to be a party up there. And I just, again, Tom, you know, you all continue to be an extension of that legacy. And we were all so blessed to know her. But I wouldn't be doing Maureen a service if I didn't talk about how fabulous she was. And I hope she's wearing the biggest glasses possible.
Thank you so much. May she rest in peace. Thank you all so much for being with us. Councilmember De Leon.
Thank you very much, Council President. Colleagues, I rise here with a very heavy, heavy heart to adjourn this meeting in the memory of a remarkable leader and a beloved member of our Eagle Rock community. And that's no other than Greg Meredith, who served as the president of TERRA, the Eagle Rock Association, and passed away just September 11th of this year at the very young age, the very, very, very young age of 60. Greg was born in the Bronx, New York, and as a proud military child, experienced a child filled with movement before settling right here in Los Angeles back in 1975. He was just 1 year short of spending 50 years in the city of Los Angeles, the vast majority of his life on this planet. He spent 39 years, close to 40 years, living in the Eagle Rock community. He dedicated his life to public service, notably serving as the Secretary of the Board of Zoning Appeals for the Los Angeles Planning Department. His passion for land use shaped many important discussions within our community. Back in 2012, Greg joined the board of directors of the Eagle Rock Association, TERRA, where his unique ability to facilitate meaningful conversations on local issues quickly became apparent. He brought fresh perspective that guided thoughtful decision-making. And in 2017, he was elected the president of TERRA, where he continued to inspire and lead. One of Greg's proudest achievements was his advocacy for the Viditz Foundation, which is on the corner of Eagle Rock Boulevard and Yosemite. He played an instrumental role in restoring the historic Eagle Theater, fighting against city restrictions and rallying the community to support the project. Just last month, he inspired a crowd of 260 passionate community members to advocate for Viditz at an East Area Planning Commission meeting. Today, if you visit Viditz, you will find a commemorative VHS cassette in the lobby, honoring Greg's dedication to bringing the premier entertainment destination to life. Greg was also committed to supporting our local businesses. He championed initiatives like The Rock, the Boulevard Project, making Eagle Rock Boulevard more pedestrian-friendly and green. After the challenges of the pandemic, Greg created the Happening in Eagle Rock social media account to provide free promotion for our local businesses, showing his unwavering support for our community. In addition to his role as Terra President, Greg served on the Colorado Boulevard Design Review Board since 2018, always focused on enhancing the quality of life for Eagle Rockers. I had the privilege of attending his service just 2 days ago, last Sunday, and it was a testament to the impact he had on so many lives in Eagle Rock. Greg is survived by his loving wife, Min, his sisters Sherry and Angie, who's here with us today from Dallas, Texas, and his parents, Gwen and Jim. And if you meet Jim, they live here locally, just in San Gabriel Valley in Monrovia, a spit image of each other, both father and son, and his cherished niece and nephews. We will remember Greg, not just for his leadership, but for his kindness, for his wisdom, and his commitment to our community. And you may not have known this or noticed this, and it's understandable, but just a few months ago, Greg came down to the chamber, and he and I went to the back room of the chamber and broke bread once again. A very loving, heartfelt, compassionate conversation that we had. And that's why the beautiful spirit of who this man is. And Greg, I think, was 6'2", 6'4", you know, height. 6'2". I added a couple inches, you know. A beautiful, gentle giant of a man who was passionate about his community and who he was and is as a human being inside. Like I said, just a couple months ago, 3 or 4 months ago, we were in that back room and we had a beautiful conversation. A beautiful man. So may Greg Meredith rest in peace, as well as may he rest in power. And Mr. President, and I just, to conclude, I would be remiss, you know, Min Meredith is here, and, you know, and Angie Meredith, his sister, but also too, he brings with him a family from the Bureau of Contract Administration as well too. And I know our brother, General Manager John Reamer, is here somewhere around here. There he is too. You know, we saw each other at the service as well too, and this just proves how much they loved him. He was part of that beloved family, a tight-knit group. He was part of our beloved city family, as well as our community in Eagle Rock. So may he rest in peace, Greg, and may he rest in power. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Blumenfield.
Thank you. I'd like to adjourn this body in memory of the victims of the attack by the terrorist organization known as Hamas. It was 1 year ago yesterday, and the death toll of the hostages has only grown in that time. We'll have a rolling list of the victims as I speak. The names of over 800 civilians who were murdered in their homes, towns, and communities confronting Hamas terrorists during the brutal attack that took place during a peace festival on October 7th, 2023. As well as the subsequent attack on October 7th, those names are here. It doesn't include the first responders and a number of others. Many of us here around this horseshoe were at the incredibly moving memorial last night at the Saban Theater, or at many of the other memorials that happened this past weekend over the last few days. Some of us have visited the Nova exhibit in Culver City, where the massacre at the music festival is vividly documented, and I urge anyone who hasn't been there to go and bear witness to what happened. While the attack was 1 year ago, it's important to realize that it wasn't just a one-day event. Rocket attacks from Gaza into Israel continue to this day. Just yesterday, at least a dozen rockets were shot from Gaza into Israel. Can you imagine how many rockets would be shot at Israel if Israel hadn't invaded in self-defense? And rockets continue to be shot at Israel, not just from Gaza, but from the West Bank, Lebanon, and of course, most recently from the state sponsor of all that regional terrorism, Iran. I have staff with family in Lebanon who say they are hoping and counting on Israel to help them rid themselves of Hezbollah. My point is that the victims of Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Iranian regime go beyond the Israelis that they have killed. It's their own people who are oppressed and victimized by their regime, and frankly, by the deadly consequences of the inevitable responses to the attacks. While today we are adjourning for the people killed directly by the October 7th massacre, we also recognize the tragedy of all the people killed and oppressed as a consequence of the continued direct and indirect actions taken by Hamas and its terrorist sponsors. The list of the names scrolling on the screen is a graphic reminder about the human toll of the October 7th massacre, the worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust. And I think it's important to see the names to help counter the revisionist history that I sometimes sadly see propagated. It's time to stop laying blame on innocent people in Israel and their neighbors who sought peace at a music festival and clearly lay the blame where it belongs. On the terrorists who attacked Israel on October 7th, who attacked Israel before October 7th despite a ceasefire that was in place, and who continue to attack Israel to this day. The only reason that we don't see more dead people in Israel every day is because of the Iron Dome, which is literally intercepting missiles every day. Look at the map. See that Israel is the size of New Jersey, surrounded by these massive countries where many regimes that have wanted to wipe them out are. This last year has torn me apart and should tear any decent person apart who follows the news. It is horrible that it has been a year. It's been a horrible year, and the hostages who were murdered are still being held in cages or in tunnels. And no matter what you think that the government of Israel should or shouldn't do, we should all be united against the evil intent of Hamas and Hezbollah to wipe out Israel and all of its inhabitants. I hope our world leaders can work together to dismantle this terrorist organization before it's too late, and I hope our local leaders and residents will see what's actually happening in the Middle East. I pray for peace, and I ask that we adjourn in the victims of the massacre that happened 1 year ago today. May they rest in peace, they may rest in power, and may their memories be a blessing.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Thank you, Councilmember Blumenfield. I ask to be added to that adjourning motion.
Thank you.
I'd like to be added as well.
Councilmember Park, Councilmember Yaroslavsky, Councilmember De Leon, Councilmember Hutt. This is an all-council, so people don't have to raise their mic. So this will be an all-council adjourning motion. Thank you so much, Mr. Blumenfield, for bringing that to us. Any other adjourning motions for today? Seeing none, we are adjourned. Thank you so much, everybody.